living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hey there, I'm FTFE and welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what the unknown hunter did to Bambi's mother. Everyone take a moment, I know that always tugs at the heartstrings. Bambi's mum. Yeah, welcome back to the channel for the start of a new year. We're going to pretend that 2020 didn't happen. In fact, when you look at history books in the future, they'll be like 2018, 2019, 2021. Miss, what happened to 2020? And the teacher would be like, we don't fucking talk about 2020, all right? So we're going to move on, we're going to pretend it didn't happen, and we're going to have a much better year. I do hope everybody had an amazing Christmas and New Year in the year we won't mention. Joining me today to have a talk with Spurs when he joins is the one, the only Stinky Beaver. How you doing, Brainy?
It's vanilla. It's just a really strong vanilla you're smelling when I come your way. And I'm going to tell you right now, I actually thought that if they did it in the past, they could do it again. We just need to strike the year from the calendar, like when they created the Gregorian calendar and they struck a bunch of days. We'll just take the whole year, we'll make it not exist, and then we'll just adjust the next. We're going to have 2 leap days, or however the F I haven't looked at that. You know what I mean? We're gonna do whatever we got to make that bitch work with the leap system. We're gonna fix it up, and we're gonna just pretend it never even existed.
Yeah.
What year of the rat?
To be honest, the whole past 3 or 4 years has been like a strange fever dream. They made a movie about that really bad musical Cats. They elected a Cheeto as the president of the United States, and then the entire world got locked in their houses for a year. Was I dreaming, or did all that actually happen?
No, it happened.
Right.
And it all started in China. China.
Right. So anyway,
China virus.
We have the incredible Spurs chemo. Spurs, are you there?
He's such a fun man.
Spurs was there, and then he left. Spurs' friend seems to have joined. Hello, Spurs' friend.
The intoxicating vanilla.
Yes, we can hear you. Spurs seems to have left you on your own there. Oh, he's come back.
I can't hear him.
You can't hear Spurs or his friend. Right, hold on. Let me make sure I've got this all working right. Yeah.
This is the unshaven beaver look. Some people will know this look well, some people won't.
All right,
depends
Spurs,
on your flavor.
Spurs, are you there? I see Spurs, but no, Spurs keeps leaving the meeting. Spurs has asked me.
It's like reaching out and trying to speak to aliens.
I know.
Are you there? Hello.
It's a new year, and still Flat Earthers struggle to figure out the technology. Yeah, okay. Spurs Kimo wants to join the call. Yes, he can join the call. Right. So, tell me, Beaver, can you hear? Can you hear this? Yeah, yes, Spurs, we can hear you.
I can't hear that.
You can't hear them. Right, hold on 1 second.
I can hear you, so I know I'm not doing anything wrong on my end. It's your problem.
Here we go.
Here you go.
Give me 1 sec. I just need to sort it out so that it's going through the right thing.
And you're getting me through my broadcast, my NVIDIA broadcast, so if it goes wanky, let me know.
Sorry, bear with me. All right, so that one should go.
Takes away all my shitty desk noises.
And this one should go.
You didn't get any of them.
Okay, right. Tell me if you hear this noise, Beaver. You hear that ringing?
Yep, ring. Yep. Yeah,
excellent.
Skype ring.
Spurs, can you hear me?
A ring.
Spurs, you've muted yourself.
I was just playing games.
Spurs, you there?
Yeah, I can hear, but you're very quiet there.
Very quiet.
Yeah, fight the flat Earth. I can barely hear you now. But you were a lot louder before.
All right, hold on. Let me get this. Make sure it's all sorted correctly. Audio cable that should be going through. Can you hear me though? It might have to just be a little quiet for you guys.
I can hear you, but you can barely hear you. Is what I'm saying.
It's about like a third of the volume from before. I mean, I can
you fix that. I'll be right back.
We can continue if you can't fix it.
Yeah, I don't know why, but the signal feeding back to you isn't going through as strong, and that is the maximum that I can make it. So you guys to deal with that, you can I'll speak as loudly as I can.
Well, why don't you go back to what you had before?
Because then, right, okay, hold on. That should be fine. Oh, no, because you won't be able to hear Brainy. I need Brainy to be able to hear you as well. Give me 1 sec. It should be coming through.
You want to try turning it off and on?
Technology. It was working before, and then I had to change it because Spurs was having issues. Give me 1 second.
You spoke too soon with that flat Earth technology jab.
Well, I had it all working, and then Spurs wouldn't join on the correct one.
Let me just check that I didn't lock my phone.
They destroyed the technology. They can't build it back up again, guys. Give them a second.
As long as you guys can hear, we're going to have to continue with this level. Is that okay?
I mean, you're clear, but the other guy is like less clear than you, and he's kind of low volume as well.
Right. Brainy, are you there? Give me a mic check.
If he's not going to say anything of consequence, then we can continue.
Brainy, give me a mic check, dude.
I'm here.
Yep.
Oh, that's better, actually. That's better.
Oh no, I had to take a toke before once I heard Spursky's voice, I knew I needed to just establish my emotional level before we continued, you know. Anyways,
right,
go ahead.
Well, there we go. We're sorted. Spurs, welcome
Alrighty.
back to the channel. I hope you had a decent new year, and welcome to your friend. What should we call your friend? I don't just want to refer to him as Spurs' friend.
Okay, so this is Percent.
Percent.
I think he knows who you are. I'm not sure if he knows who Brainy Beaver is. Yeah, so Percent, Brainy.
Yeah, what's up? I don't really know either of you. I think I might have heard a clip of the British guy. I'm guessing you're Fight the Flat Earth.
Yeah,
this is your channel.
Yes.
All right. Nice.
He's
Nice
also
to
known
meet
as
your
Fight the
acquaintance.
Fat Girth too in some realms.
Or Fight the Tight Shirt. Any of them work.
Yeah.
Although I did fight the tight shirt.
You know,
and that
we've
did
traded
work.
places lately. He's doing pretty good, and I think I'm fighting the tight shirt now. So
that time of the year, hey, for the New Year's resolution. So
yeah,
I can feel Christmas time. I can feel it. Anyways, continue.
Right. So, welcome to the channel. Why don't we just let you start? As you're new here, you obviously think the Earth is flat. Why would you think that?
I don't think it's flat. I know it's observably flat and motionless.
Have you got any measurements to back that up? Measurements having to include,
Okay, so as far as our
significant
observations
figures,
in terms of like when you look at the sorry, I didn't mean to overtalk you. Were you done talking?
Yeah, carry on.
Oh, that'll happen.
Okay. So the Earth presents itself as flat and motionless. We don't feel movement, and when you look at the horizon, it presents itself as flat. In fact, that's where we got the word horizontal from. You know, horizontal meaning straight line.
Correct.
Because it means pertaining to the horizon, which presents itself as a flat, straight line.
Okay. Can I just cut in slightly there? And you're wrong about the word horizon. It actually comes from the Greek meaning bounding circle. Nothing to do with straight line.
That's not what I said. I said horizontal.
Yeah, you said
horizontal
horizontal
is the
came from the word
suffix
horizon,
meaning pertaining to the horizon. So they use the word horizontal as a flat, a straight line because the horizon presents itself as straight. I'm not talking about the etymology of horizon itself.
Yeah, but horizontal also doesn't mean horizon. They are not the same thing.
It means pertaining to the horizon. The al suffix means pertaining to.
No, the horizontal and horizon are very much different things. The horizon also.
Do you understand what the suffix?
Anyway.
What I'm referring to when I say the al suffix?
A dictionary.
Horizontal,
possibly?
vertical, diagonal.
Yeah, horizontal doesn't mean any of those things when you're talking about the shape of the Earth. It has very specific meanings. But also, you're wrong.
You can hijack it.
I don't hijack it. I go with scientific definitions and definitions.
Yeah, okay. And if you want to look up the word horizon, out of the 6 definitions, 4 have the context of 4 have the proper context in terms of straight lines and vertical lines and stuff like that. And of those 4, 3 of them will mention pertaining, as in the horizon, following the horizon, in relation to the horizon.
At the end of the day, word definition games don't really change facts. Now, the other thing you said is that the Earth presents itself as observably flat and motionless, and I would have to completely disagree with that as well. My specific observations of the Earth quite clearly show that the Earth is not flat and it's rotating. It's very, very easy to determine these things based on.
I'd love to see your
very simple
verifiable,
observations.
definitive evidence.
Oh, well, I mean, there's so much. What would you like to know? Would you like to see some measurements? Would you like to see experiments? Would you like to see a probe that was sent to the edge of space by a friend of mine where we actually see the horizon curving? Would you like to see the horizon below eye level? In fact, the moon being below eye level? Would you like experiments that prove gravity that show that the Earth can only be a globe? I have
any and
so
all
much.
of it, so long as it's verifiable and definitive.
Okay. Well, an entire list of measurements would be pretty definitive, right? If we're talking about the shape of something, then
No, that's not what definitive means.
Yeah,
Definitive means
that
there's only
means that
one
you can, yeah.
answer. You know that. It's,
Yeah, exactly,
it's
exactly.
clear cut.
And if you measure the Earth, and if you measure it at several different points, you only get one answer. And this has been done by professional surveyors all over the world throughout history. And whenever they measure the Earth, they get the same answer. You can go to mctoon.net/r for a list of historical measurements that actually show the Earth is curved with the
That's absolutely not true. We get different measurements. It varies, and you guys say it's because of refraction. So you're not only getting one measurement in terms of.
You don't measure refraction. You measure the actual Earth. I'm actually talking about measurements of the Earth. And when you have a measurement scientifically has to include units, significant digits, and a margin of error analysis, which I can present an entire list of measurements that actually have that. We can also go to.
I'd love for you to actually let's get into the meat of it. I mean, when we can.
Like I said, I can present an entire list of measurements. I can present stuff from a friend of mine who is a professional surveyor who has shown that the Earth is curved. And we can also talk about the fact that the Earth observably doesn't appear to be motionless. The Earth observably moves, and it's quite obvious just by looking at the sky. Things happen in the sky that are impossible on a flat, motionless Earth. There's other things that are impossible on a flat, motionless Earth, like sunsets and stuff. But depends where you want to start. Do you want to explain to me, right? I can show you measurements, right? Let's start with this. I can show you measurements.
Well, hold on, Craig. Hold on.
Should we do like introductions first or something?
Yeah. Okay. We get it. Let me just say this. So I can show you measurements all day, right? Measurements that all match up and that all say the same thing, right?
Is my microphone working? Am I coming through?
Yeah.
Yes, you are coming through.
Give me 1 sec. So the question that I put to you and all flat earthers is, why isn't there one single measurement of the Earth being flat? Not one at all, ever.
There are, but you just discount them and say the refraction is bending the light over the physical curve of the Earth.
You discount refraction.
That's why.
Wait. So you
and yet
said
you can't
there
actually
is
prove
measurements.
that because you don't have a vacuum chamber that's miles long that we can use as a control to compare.
You've just said that there is measurements. So can you please present me with?
Of course, there are measurements, but you guys say that the straight lasers that are collimated beams are bending. And that refraction that they're basically.
We don't live in a vacuum. We live in an
you just hate straight
atmosphere.
lines.
So you're
looking at.
You don't need a vacuum. You need an atmosphere. So you're already doing it wrong.
Looking at lasers.
You would need a vacuum to prove your claim that's refraction. That's what I'm saying.
No,
refraction occurs inside of
a control.
Atmosphere.
That's how you isolate.
No, it occurs inside gas layers, not inside a vacuum. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We can show
you don't understand refraction, obviously. So what we should start by is by teaching you what refraction is. Because if you think we need a vacuum for refraction, you don't even understand refraction. That's where we should.
You're not understanding my argument. You guys are saying it's refracting.
I don't think you understand refraction,
right? But the only way you can actually say it's refraction that's causing it to go over the physical curve is to have a vacuum chamber so we can see the physical curve. We can
show you a demonstration of refraction causing light.
You understand that, right?
View to come over a curve. Yeah, but you're saying this is ridiculous. So there's no such thing as modeling in your world. Nobody in their world has ever created a either mathematical or an actual scale model of something. We can scale model
modeling
that shit.
Isn't
That's
proof.
Different.
Modeling isn't
we have enough
verifiable
proof. You're just too dumb to accept it. I mean, if we really want to get into it, the reality is you guys are so stupid you don't want to believe in anything.
Hold on. I know you wanted the dumpster.
We'll let him talk because I'm the guy that gets angry every once in a while.
Spurs, we're getting there. All right. So, are you denying that refraction can cause light to bend?
Not at all.
Okay. So how can you say that it's not refraction when refraction has been very much quantified?
No, I'm not saying that refraction isn't playing a part. You guys are claiming that refraction is causing it to bend so much that we can see more than 10 times as farther than we normally can.
Well,
so for you guys to you have to substantiate that claim.
It only has to change by a degree or so for us to be able to see Well,
nonetheless, you're still seeing more than 10 times, like the horizon's more than 10 times where it would be.
One single degree can change what we can see by 69 miles.
You can claim it all you want, but you have to be able to substantiate it. And for you to be able to substantiate refraction means you need a place where there isn't refraction, which would be a vacuum.
That's not how it is. You quantify refraction, and refraction has been quantified. There's been experiments done on refraction for hundreds and hundreds of years.
See, like you tell us we discount flat Earth, but you completely discount refraction. Refraction is a science; it's understood, and yet you want to pretend it doesn't exist because it has to not exist.
Completely
for your theory
to make the claim.
Brainy here again, because what we're looking for is a discussion on the science, not preaching about who we are, what we're about. You're saying that light does something. So in order to validate this, not talk about, we've done this, we can preach this.
You're asking for things that can't be done. It's stupid. It's straw man.
Prove your claim. Otherwise, we're just going to be arguing back and forth. So if you know what you're talking about,
I don't really have the argument myself.
What you're claiming, Craig.
Look, refraction causes light to bend. It can cause lasers to bend quite easily.
That's either a really flaccid penis or a refracting laser. I'm not sure if you've seen that video or not.
Refraction has been quantified and modeled out, and we've done experiments to make predictions and see if that's the case. And that's how
something's obviously wrong with that laser.
A control doesn't necessarily mean having the exact opposite thing to test against. That's not what a control is, because there is occasions where having the exact opposite thing is an impossibility. So what you do is you test over a long period of time, and you compare the results and get averages and stuff. And that's been done for centuries. Refraction has been quantified. We can say
he's going to say it's in water. It's going to be the first thing he says.
All right. So can I ask you just a very
let me
just
question? Finish what I'm saying. One sec. Let me just finish what I'm saying. Right. Refraction has been quantified, so much so that we can predict exactly what a certain density or temperature change will do to the path of light, and that has been experimentally verified.
Oh no.
Okay, so let's say you're shooting a laser and it's maintaining the same altitude, right? Now, if it wasn't if the Earth was flatter, if it wasn't as curved as you claim it is, then it wouldn't need to refract as much, correct?
To be able to see further, if the Earth wasn't as curved as we say, then no, there wouldn't need to be as much
not to see further. For the laser to maintain its altitude, if the Earth wasn't as curved as it was, it means it wouldn't need to refract as much, right?
Well, the laser would need to have a coefficient of 0 to match whatever.
You realize that things don't always refract
basically,
perfectly, right? Like people see floating fucking vessels in the sky, right? You know this.
Listen, this is basically the idea. If the curve of the Earth was flattened a little, and the laser's following the curve of the Earth, then the curve of the laser would also be flattened a little, right, to maintain the altitude.
Compared to reality, yes.
The point is there's a direct relationship. If you increase the curve of the Earth, then you'd have to also increase the bend of the laser, right? And you would prescribe that to refraction.
You would. That's why it doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah,
so now that we've established that there is a direct relationship between them, where is the line between them? How do you distinguish between them?
Because you can make predictions based on observations. Right, that's
I know, but you would have to
works.
isolate one of them, right, to see the effect.
That's not how it works.
How would you demonstrate which one it is if they both have the same effect?
What do you mean, which one it is?
Bend the curve of the Earth, bend the Earth curve, or bend the laser, and you get the same effect.
Well, the laser bends because of the curve of the Earth. The curve of the Earth causes a gradient in the atmosphere, and it's that gradient in the atmosphere that is curved that causes the light to bend.
Wait. So are you saying that if we had a flat surface, if we engineered a flat surface and had atmosphere, that there would be no refraction? That's completely dependent on the curve of the Earth?
No, absolutely not. But there would be much less refraction.
Okay, so it's not dependent on the curve of the Earth.
No, it is. The amount of refraction is.
What?
It would be completely different. Completely
FTFE,
different
slow down.
type. Okay, right, hold on. Right.
He's letting you overtalk yourself because that's what he's trying to do right now. He's just tossing a bunch of shit at you.
You would get a very different type of refraction if the Earth was flat.
Come on, man. We do this every day.
Right? What you get is the type of refraction that we get is because of the Earth being curved. If it was flat, there would be different refraction and very much less refraction. It's because a straight line of sight would be going through a gradient of atmosphere that we get the amount of refraction that we do. A flat Earth would give different refractive results than what we see, and that has been
What would be
You don't
different?
always get the right amount of refraction, which is why sometimes
what would be different
you
if it was
don't
flat?
see that. In fact, most of the times you don't see that. Sometimes you see floating ships in the sky, which has been recorded on tapestries and stuff as far back as time, because it doesn't always refract perfectly. Sometimes it refracts in a way where you're like, holy shit, that boat's in the sky. And that's why there's always been tales of floating vessels in the sea, and they get all flying off on the horizon and stuff. It's because that's what they saw when they looked out, but it's because light was refracting in a way that day because of the conditions on that day to make it so it lifted. By the way, when you look down the highway and you see that shiny puddle on the highway, that's you looking at the sky. That's the same thing. How did the light get to your eye? It bounced off of
real quick, I don't want to miss the point.
It actually.
Here. So
you don't want to have to answer.
Yeah, with all due respect, Brainy, I mean, we kind of want to
Chris, with all due respect,
looming on tapestry and stuff like that.
Guys, one at a time.
No, but
the
Craig,
bottom
you want
line
to kind
is
of
you're
like
trying to keep the conversation rolling, so you don't ever have to lean back on answering something. No, it's bullshit. These fucking assholes keep moving forward because they don't ever want to stop on a comment.
Right, Brainy, hold on.
Moving forward. You're the one
this is
moving
the problem.
forward.
You're letting them overwalk you right
Brainy,
now.
hold on.
Because they just keep fucking going.
Brainy,
this guy's getting triggered already, man.
He's spiraling. I mean, all we want to do is
all right, everybody take a deep breath. Everybody take a fucking deep breath.
I just think these people are asshats.
Well, we know that, but we can move on, and I want to hear their arguments. All right, because
this is what I asked you. How do you distinguish between the two, right? And you said that the refraction was dependent on the curvature of the Earth, and then you took that back and you said that it's different depending on whether it's a curved surface or a flat surface. I don't want to get into
type of refractions that we get.
One second. I just want to capitalize on the fact that they're not dependent on that. The refraction isn't dependent on the curve of the Earth, right?
It absolutely is.
Refraction is dependent. So on a flat surface, we can't have refraction.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the type of
atmosphere bends around the curved Earth, so it becomes dependent.
I didn't say the type of refraction. I didn't say the presentation or the differentiation. I said refraction itself is not dependent on
you get refraction whenever
surface.
You get refraction whenever you are looking through an atmosphere. I get refraction looking through my fucking glasses. Refraction is just the bending of light due to a medium. But the particular refractive effects that we get, the excessive looming, etc., are because we have a curved
That's not
atmosphere.
where I'm going with this. So we could get into that, but basically I'm asking you, how do you demonstrate how do you demonstrate between whether it's the curve of the Earth or the refraction? How do you demonstrate? Where's the line there?
Are we debating refraction, or are we debating the curve of the Earth? This is the problem.
They're both related because you guys are claiming that this light is bending so as to follow the curve of the Earth. But in order to actually see that, we would need to somehow isolate these two connected variables, right?
Yeah.
So which one are you going to isolate?
We've isolated
light.
We know lasers go straight in vacuum tubes. I mean, just look at the LIGO installations. Right, a kilometer of exactly straight laser through a vacuum chamber, and it doesn't bend at all. So we know that in a vacuum chamber, light goes exactly straight. However, if you put it through a atmosphere or any other type of medium, there will be refraction.
The size of Earth. You didn't simulate it on an Earth level fight. Come on.
Give him a chance, Brainy. Give him a chance.
Oh, okay. I'll just
give him a chance. So we know that the more kind of atmosphere, the more density there is, the more refraction you have, right? So I'll give you that. In a perfect vacuum, the light would go in an absolutely straight line. We agree on that. So now, where do you have this vacuum chamber over miles where you can see that this light, that the light would go straight up, and that it wouldn't be curving?
I mean, there's 7 different LIGO installations around the world, and they all do that.
Really? Because I've never seen that.
You've never seen a LIGO installation?
Because you've never fucking
been
there.
I've never seen that they go for miles. First off, the LIGO installation.
It's a kilometer.
Each of the arms go for a circle, or is that 1 kilometer straight?
Yeah,
you realize that the Black Swan is like a 13-mile
the Black Swan
13-mile sight.
So
you're increasing your horizon by
I can debunk the Black Swan
10
in like 5 seconds. It's not hard. But we know that in a straight line, over a kilometer at least, 100% light travels exactly straight. So we know that happens in a vacuum chamber. There is 0 deviation of light in a straight line over a vacuum chamber. All right. But we also know that
you're claiming that.
No.
Where's your evidence of that? Where's your
every single LEGO installation? Every single LEGO installation.
Okay, well, give me one, and then we can actually, you know, like,
you know what LEGO is.
Yeah. Craig, you haven't presented anything so
far. Hold up.
I'm telling you right now, the LEGO installation has 2 1-kilometer arms that shoot lasers through vacuum chambers.
Okay, so you're saying that these kilometer arms are absolutely flat, right?
Yes, they have to be.
Okay, so if they're flat, that means they're tangential to the globe, right?
Yes, they would form a tangent to the globe. That's why at one end of the arms had to be precision poured with cement underneath to give it that extra, I think it's about 1.5 meters that it needed to stay completely flat. Otherwise,
okay. So can you just explain how these are situated on or in the Earth, just, you know, so we can get a visualization?
Well, it's 2 L-shape installations in the US that I know of. 2 1-kilometer arms that go in opposite, you know, one straight up and then one to the side, and they have to be exactly 100% flat for the experiment to work. However, compared to this side,
your audio just dropped.
Hello?
Oh,
we just lost him. I think he just crashed, buddy. I think it's all just.
Oh, he's back now. He's back. He said, "Wait a second."
Oh, there he is. I was gonna say we've got the show to ourselves. Everybody just start yelling bad words that'll get him banned. Start now. Go. He can't stop us.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Yeah, sorry, I knocked the cable out of my mic and then it resets on the system. My bad, sorry. So,
but before you go on, Craig, remember we premised this with substantiation, okay? Not stories, not religious
stories. There's
no
stories. These are physical installations that actually, well, before the pandemic.
Yeah, but you're going to have to substantiate that.
No, I don't have to personally substantiate anything. That's not how science works, Spurs. We've gone through that a million times.
I mean, we'll get there when we need to, right? So you were saying that
before you use your smartphone in the morning, I want you to substantiate the science behind your smartphone, okay? I want you to explain to me how it works when you touch your screen, the way that it interacts with the ions from your fingertips, and if you don't mind, Spurs, I would appreciate it. I mean, come on, buddy.
We haven't made those claims. You claim that we live on a spherical object flying through space with no scientific validation whatsoever.
No, we have all the scientific validation.
You have no geometry whatsoever.
Spurs, don't come here and lie. Do not come here and lie.
That's what we're looking for, Craig. You've stories so far.
I'm not giving you any stories. I am explaining that there is physical installations that follow the premises that you are putting forward. Now, either shut up and let your friend talk, or you present something, okay?
Oh, I mean, in his defense, I've been talking a lot. So
if you said that what you said, you would say, well, present it, prove it. Okay?
No, I can present it. Here we go. Here is one of the LEGO installations. As you can see, there is 2 1-kilometer arms, all right, you know, in an L shape. And for both of the installations that they built in the US, compared to this, from this side to this side, they literally had to pour cement to make sure that it wasn't, you know, that it could sit in flat and be higher up above, you know, here than it was here. Otherwise,
they're working on cold fusion, but they don't understand how a laser works.
Okay, so hold up. Is the center of the arm on the surface of the Earth or in Earth underneath?
It's
like, is it subterranean or not?
You know, this tube that you see here has a big laser firing from this installation.
I didn't realize you were showing it on the screen. Okay, so the center is, it looks like it's on the surface?
Yeah, it's all on the surface.
Okay.
All, you know,
all right, so if it's tangent, how's it all on the surface? If it's tangential.
Well, this here is a tangent to the globe. And it is higher above the surface.
So you're saying that the ends of it then are being suspended in air, and then they fortified it with cement.
Yeah, they had to use. It took about 11 years
to actually calibrate. Can you show us then this cementing arc basically to the center? I mean, it's basically like a bridge. You're saying, right? Yeah. Like it's like a, you know, the Golden Gate Bridge upside down but cemented.
What? No,
right?
It's a big straight.
It's just
fucking vacuum tube.
But you're saying the base. You're saying the base, like the sides of it, are hanging in the air, and so they put cement underneath.
Yeah, I mean, you can look up all the information. I don't have to personally prove to you right now what the LIGO
No, you do, because you claim that this is actually
no,
tangential. You claimed it's a straight line vacuum, right? Where light is going straight.
Hold on.
Wait. Have you personally done half the shit you fucking brought here and talked about? This is the same fucking bullshit you guys pull every time, where you claim that we cannot present evidence to you, but you can show us a fucking YouTube video or some link from somewhere, and apparently that is evidence. Stop being a bitch and accept the same evidence.
Brainy, is questioning your
Stop
evidence
being a bitch and accept the same evidence you provide. Okay, Spurs, you're as bad as everybody.
You're the one that's telling us that we're on a board, so you have to prove it.
Yeah.
No, you're the one. No, this has been established. You're the dickheads that don't agree. You're actually the ones that have to do it. You're the dissenting voices. The dissenting voices are in charge of proving it to the community. Just like the guy who proved people that bacteria existed did it by showing that by washing his fucking hands, he had a better survival rate on his people. Before that, they thought he was a joke, and he proved it. You aren't proving shit right now. You just come in here and you argue about nothing.
Have you finished?
Now, the bottom line is about my rant right now is if you're going to present evidence, you accept the same fucking quality of evidence back. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so what we're doing...
You know I'm right. You know I'm right.
You don't like the fact, Brainy, that we're questioning
No, I don't like the fact you come in here and tell us our evidence is garbage, and then you go, look at this fucking YouTube video somebody posted on
I appreciate how your diatribe is like working as a way of stalling.
No, it's not a
diatribe.
You are a
images of its cement propping up the sides of this suspending building.
He drags me on because I get pissed every once in a while.
Right, Brainy, take it.
Craig, I thought you said Red Rhetoric was going to be here. I mean, this simply won't do it.
My friend, my friend
would he have been more professional if he didn't take a toke?
My other friend will be joining in a bit.
No.
But,
listen, I don't even have time for you pieces of garbage in my life, is the reality. And that's why I don't give you the time on here. Because you come in here and you
You're looking for this dumpster fire, and all we're trying to do is expose the globe lie by showing you cannot prove you live on a globe.
Is that why you go into...
Everybody shut the fuck up!
This is a dumpster
fire. Everybody stop. Everybody stop.
Yeah, right? It makes a lot of money.
Brainy, please.
I don't do shit.
Everybody stop. Right? I can take you through the, this is a document that talks about the precision, calibration of the LIGO installation, and you are free in your own time to peruse this and debunk it. But I will be presenting.
Claim. No, that's just it being claimed again in documentation. That's not definitive evidence. So
the documentation is
a video
definitive
or
evidence.
Something of this cement
you can,
on the sides of the building.
Again, you can look up all the information.
Do you have any definitive evidence
Brainy,
that you brought?
I didn't make the claim.
Can I talk?
I didn't either. You did. You made the claim the Earth is flat.
Brainy, come on. What is this?
I didn't say you made a claim, Brainy.
Every time. God damn.
So, you can find the
he's out of control. How is
okay, everybody shut up. Thank you. You can find all the information about the LIGO installations freely available. Information that I will cite
Craig.
That's me.
Craig is flat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Craig, it being reasserted again
please let me finish what I'm saying.
Isn't like a reassertion of the claim isn't evidence.
Please let me finish what I am saying.
Go ahead.
It's not a claim. This is documented evidence of them creating this facility, right? All you have to do is look into the construction of it yourself, and you will find the same things that I have found. I am citing the LIGO installations and the 11 years of calibration and precision engineering that they had to use to show that the Earth is not flat. And you can go and look up these claims yourself.
Evidence.
Oh, it absolutely is. The LIGO installation is definitive.
You can't even claim stop.
Stop.
Hold up. Let me
you don't. No. Hold on.
You don't get. Consider it as evidence if someone, swore under oath in an affidavit that this was verifiable
Why aren't you stopping?
But aside from that, it's not evidence. And even when it is that, that's not definitive.
You're not shutting up.
You understand that, right?
Will you stop? Please don't overtalk me when I asked about 1,000 times, and unfortunately, like all flat earthers, you don't know how to shut the fuck up.
By the way, that's why we can't hear.
Yeah, cool story, Spurs. We'll move on. So The LIGO installations have full documentations explaining exactly how that they were constructed. You are free to go and verify that yourself. But I am citing the LIGO installations and the precision engineering required to create those installations as evidence that the Earth is flat. It's not flat. Okay? So you would have to go and debunk that rather than just going, no, you haven't shown me a video of it being created. You can't just go, nuh-uh. I don't accept nuh-uh. The information is freely available for you to find. I can give you all the information if you like, but I am not specifically going to go through all the information of it right now. I am citing the LIGO installation as evidence that the Earth is not flat. When I finish, as evidence that the Earth is not flat. Right. However, none of this is what I asked for in the first place, which was a measurement.
No, okay. I'm going to respond now because otherwise the point will be lost and you're going to move on to something else. So 2 things. Number 1, it's not for me to debunk because it's your claim.
Yes, it is.
So that's
no, it's not a claim. It's a fact.
Of the burden of proof
no, it's not a claim. It's not a claim.
Before,
you have burden of proof.
You do not. Is not definitive evidence. You still have not satisfied your burden of proof for the positive claim that you have made, and so it is dismissed.
I will mute you if you don't stop. You don't get to dismiss something.
Craig, we've got to be able to respond. Otherwise, what's the point in talking?
You don't just get to deny, though. That is not a response. Right?
But Craig, we've got.
Craig, you're showing your screen. You know,
but Spurs, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, okay, Spurs, I will mute you if you talk over me. All right, just sit in your place. All right, and please be quiet. No, I can absolutely present evidence, like saying the LIGO installation and the engineering behind it. It is definitive evidence. I don't care if you say that it isn't. Yes, it is. I don't care if you say that it isn't.
Of the claim is not definitive.
No, it's not a claim. No, hold on. It is not a claim. It is a factual, empirical bit of evidence that shows that.
Then show us the empirical, definitive evidence.
Yeah, the construction of it is that empirical evidence.
Reading words is not empirical evidence.
Okay, so you have to go and debunk it if you don't believe it.
No, that's just the burden of proof.
No. You have the burden of proof, not me.
No, it's your claim.
No. Let me make this very clear.
You said it was tangential.
Let me make this very clear. I never have the burden of proof, all right? I have the backing of all of scientific knowledge.
That's funny.
All measurement. No, it's a fact. I never have the burden of proof because I am going with the facts. You are the one claiming against the consensus of science, therefore you always...
Appeal to consensus fallacy.
No, it's not a fallacy. You always
appeal to majority,
have the burden of proof.
Appeal to populum.
You're using the fallacy. You're using the fallacy. You're using the fallacy. I can absolutely use the consensus of science.
It's only a fallacy if you determine it to be true. You have not done that.
No, it's a fallacy. I can absolutely 100% use the... No, I don't care if you say it's incorrect, you're wrong. I can 100% use the consensus of all of science.
I don't care if you say it's wrong, it's false.
Well, no, what you're saying is wrong because I have the consensus of science and you don't, therefore you have the burden of proof. Right?
That's appeal to consensus. That's fallacious. If that's all you got, then you lose.
Fallacy. You lose. All right.
That's all you've got.
None of this. None of this changes
play this
the
game,
fact
and you're losing it. Into more quarters.
No. None of this changes the fact that I asked you for a measurement of the Earth being flat, and you were not able to present it. Why can't you present an evidence of any measurements of the Earth being flat?
I'm not okay. First off, I said the Earth is observably flat and motionless.
It's not.
It is. When you look at the horizon, it looks flat.
No, it doesn't.
Right?
I've seen the.
The horizon doesn't look flat with
no. Not
if you're looking at the horizon at the beach, it doesn't look flat. You see a visible curve at 6 feet.
Or legs?
Yeah. I didn't say. I didn't say
at 6 feet with your eyes.
No, I didn't say at 6 feet. I said that the horizon is not visibly flat when you go up high enough.
Show us the curvature then, Craig.
Show us. Yeah.
I can do that, but again, you are getting away. Let's stop.
Well, hold on, percent. Don't say that yet. Let's have a look at what he thinks is curvature.
No, because you haven't answered my one question.
Yo, Kimo, I'll bet you $50. No, I'll bet you $1,000. He brings up an image with barrel distortion.
Okay, do you want to take that bet right now?
We'll see.
Do you want to take that bet right now? I will bet you £1,000 right now.
Well, you just said that you don't see
Spurs, shut up, I'm not talking to you.
So let's
Spurs,
have a look,
Spurs, be quiet.
I realize he's going to decide whether or not he sees barrel distortion or not now, too.
Yeah, I know. So, again, this is complete. You've done the typical flat Earth thing of ignoring the request, which was to show me an evidence and a measurement of the Earth being flat. And there isn't any. Why can't you show me a measurement of the Earth being flat?
Dude, we see flat every day.
No, that's not a measurement.
You see
Looking flat isn't a measurement. I would like to see a measurement of the Earth being flat.
But the thing is, if the empirical evidence shows that it's flat and motionless,
the empirical evidence shows that it's not flat.
With your own senses, you see it as flat and motionless.
Yeah,
and that's the null hypothesis that you have to debunk with your alternate hypothesis. You made the claim that it's curved.
We don't use our senses to determine the measurements and stuff.
What did you use then, Craig? Let's see it.
Tools. But Spurs, you're shut up. I'm not talking.
He's trying to shift the burden of proof, Spurs.
I've got measurements. I am asking you for any measurements of the Earth being flat. Can you show me one? Just one.
Listen. With your naked eyes, when we're on the ground, it looks flat and motionless. You agreed. You said you'll see a curve when you go up when you increase your elevation. That's what you said. So you imply that it does look flat and motionless when you're on the ground at 6 feet.
No. I didn't imply that at all. I said the horizon.
Oh, because you're saying it doesn't look flat and motionless at 6 feet.
You interrupted me there. Can you not do that when I'm talking? Thank you very much. Please don't act like a child. So, if you're looking at the horizon at the ground, it looks relatively flat. However, observations looking around do not show that it looks flat. You can look at other things than just the horizon and go, yeah, the Earth's not flat. So no, I 100% disagree with you that it is observably flat and motionless. Number two,
you just said when you're 6 feet, you look at the horizon, it looks flat.
No, I said it looks relatively flat, but the horizon...
Relatively compared to what?
Now, listen to the words I'm saying. At 6
relatively
foot,
means in relation to.
Now, are you going to listen? Are you going to listen? At 6 foot.
Well, I mean, are you going to beat around the bush, or are you going to talk about what we're talking about?
I'm trying to. If you will shut the fuck up like a human being, that would be great. At 6 foot, the horizon looks relatively flat. Okay. However, other observations say that no, actually, it's not flat. There is simple observations you can make at 6 foot above sea level that show that the Earth is not flat. However, none of that gets away from the fact that I've been asking you over and over for one single measurement of the Earth being flat. Can you please?
No, see, you're trying to shift the burden of proof.
No, I've given my burden of proof. I can show measurements. My burden of proof is met.
The horizon looks flat. Right?
Oh, okay. No, hold on.
Flat, that means that it looks flatter than something else.
I'll tell you what.
Look perfectly flat. That means you're saying there's a curve.
His penis is 9 inches from where he stands too.
I'll tell you what. I mean,
right? It looks like it from where he stands, so it must be.
Let me tell you this, right? With my eyesight at 6 foot, do you know what the horizon looks like? It's fucking invisible because I can't see the horizon using my fucking eyesight.
Why? Because you're in the city?
No, because I got fucking short-sightedness, and I have to use glasses to be able to see a tool.
You still would see a horizon even with short-sightedness.
No, I literally can't see the horizon if I'm not wearing my glasses. I just see indistinguishable blurs more than 5 foot in front of my face. Right now, the screen I'm looking at is now 144p instead of the 4K monitor that I paid for.
You must have some crazy myopia.
I have very bad short-sightedness. Mm-hmm. That's why I wear glasses, all right?
Okay, well, so, in the blurs that you see,
now you tell me,
do the blurs look like the sky is meeting the ground?
No, it just looks like an indistinguishable blur. Now, let me just ask you this one quick
sidebar between, like, blue
about
and brown. That's crazy.
Indistinguishable blurs are indistinguishable blurs. Now, let me just ask you this one sidebar about senses, okay? Could you, using your senses, tell me the difference between 2 degrees centigrade and 2.2 degrees centigrade?
Probably not.
Why not?
Because I didn't say that our bodies are like, you know, the end all, be all, end all in terms of
okay, so
whoa.
Wait, Brainy,
definitely our eyes,
let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point.
There's nothing better.
Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. Right? So, according to my senses, there is observably no difference between 2 degrees centigrade and 2.2 degrees centigrade. Does that mean that there is no difference between 2 degrees centigrade and 2.2 degrees centigrade?
No, and that's a false analogy because our senses are not all created equal. We're talking about eyesight right here. So we're talking specifically about seeing straight lines in the distance.
No, I can't see straight lines in the distance. Your eyesight is the
best gauge for straight lines in the distance.
No,
that's why all the lenses that we have, you know, they're trying to correct for barrel distortion and they're trying to straighten the curved lines that you see in lenses, but not in the human eyesight. They're trying to make it true to life. And that they're trying to make it look like how we see it with our eyesight, because the eyesight is the control. That it's the gold standard for straight lines in the distance.
So again, no. Eyesight
That's why you have rectilinear lenses. They're trying to match the straight lines of our eyes.
Yeah, but our eyes don't work like that. We cannot use our eyes to
they perfectly
determine
do.
if No. We cannot use our eyes.
Tell me what lens
if
has straighter lines than your eyes. Please go.
My eyes don't do that at all because I can't fucking see very well.
I'm talking about eyesight, human eyesight. I'm not talking about your bad eyes.
Yeah, well, everyone has different human eyesight. So my wife has really close vision and has issues seeing things that are close up.
Dude, again, I'm not talking about your bad vision. It's not about you. Why are you being so
stop saying we
self-centered?
can use our senses to see if the Earth is flat, because no, I outright reject that. You cannot use our senses. That's why we have tools. Now, again,
you guys are like
please stop avoiding the question that I keep asking. Can you please present me with just one single measurement that the Earth is flat? Just one.
Again, you're trying to shift the burden of proof.
No, I can show you measurements. I can show you my Spurs Sharp. I'm not talking to you. Please sit in your seat and be quiet.
Craig, so you said that the horizon is relatively flat, right?
I can present measurements of the Earth being curved. Can you please present one single measurement of the Earth being flat? Yes or no?
That's not how it is, bro. You have the positive claim, you have the alternate hypothesis. The burden of proof is on you.
And my measurements.
You keep on trying to shift the burden
of proof. I've got measurements. I've got measurements. I have met my burden of proof by having measurements. Yeah, I have all the measurements that the Earth is curved.
Okay, show us your curve then.
Why isn't there a single measurement of the Earth being flat?
Show us your curve. You said you met your burden of proof. Now show us.
Yeah, because I can show you.
You made a claim about meeting your burden of proof on a claim.
mctoon.net/r.
Probably no money from the people.
mctoon.net/r contains an entire list of measurements.
Present it now as we speak. I'm not gonna go on a wild goose chase for your claimed
barrel
evidence.
distortion. Fucking wait. All
right. Okay. All right. Let's move on. You wanted was it £1,000 bet that I was going to show you a video with barrel distortion of the Earth having curve? Do you want to take that bet?
No, you're going to bet me, Craig, not you.
No, I want to take that bet. I want to take that bet.
You're not my friend.
I don't care. I could never be friends with.
I only bet with friends, bro.
Well, unless Craig obviously is honest and concedes that he has no evidence, then yeah, you can be friends, I'm sure.
No, I have all the evidence, Spurs. There is no evidence.
Yeah, my friends are intellectually honest.
No, you don't have any intellectual
Spurs, I've seen some of the comments you've made in the past. I wouldn't be your friend.
I want to take that bet. All right, you can find someone to hold the money separately, or whatever. I want that bet with you. If you're willing to bet £1,000 that I'm going to show you a video with barrel distortion, I'll take that bet from you.
Sorry, you're going to show me a flat horizon that has no barrel distortion.
No, I'm going to show you a curved horizon with very, 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 very minimal barrel distortion and evidence of that.
Okay, so it's not going to be... Let's take the bet, because the thing was no barrel distortion, and apparently you're saying it does have barrel distortion. This sounds like easy money.
Well, I can...
You literally just said there's barrel
distortion. The part of the horizon that we can show doesn't have the barrel distortion because of what was particularly done with the camera. I can show you this, and I'm willing to take that bet for you.
Show it. Okay, show that there's no barrel distortion. Show how you distinguish between barrel distortion and curvature of the Earth.
Yeah, cool. No worries. I'm going to get that up. Let me just find the video.
Wait. Do we want to take bets on what
that's how it is.
Do we want to take bets? Wait. Shut the fuck up for a second. I'm talking now. Are we going to take bets on what his excuse is? What do we think? What's a good excuse?
As far as I know, there isn't a single lens in this world,
I don't think I was asking you. I think I was asking
perfectly matches the straight lines that we see with our human eyes.
Every single lens has some kind of distortion. However, there is ways of showing where the minimal distortion is and what parts of the lens won't have the distortion of the rest of it. And that's what's been done in this occasion. Now, if you let me just find the video.
What excuse do you think? What do you think before we let him get going here? What do you think he's gonna? Which one?
Yo, and Kimo, if you're trying to get in here, be my guest, man. I don't mean to dominate
the
show.
There is no barrel distortion, and him just saying you have the burden of proof doesn't change the fact that he's the one with the burden of proof.
Oh, but he said it. It must be true.
Yeah, he doesn't know what burden of proof.
The burden of proof is on the person that makes the claim. You can't say, "Oh, it's on whoever goes against the established rhetoric," because that's not the case.
It wasn't established when the fucking Flat Earth Society returned at the Bedford level. It was established that it was round, and those were the douche canoes that came back. And ever since then, you've claimed that we're responsible, even though you were the assets that came back out of the woods.
It's never been scientifically established or empirically established to be round.
Guess what? The Vatican accepted it. You're even your own religious nuts.
It never has been definitively shown that it is
whatever.
Yeah, it has.
Whatever.
I mean,
then prove it, bro.
straight away. All right. We have been to space and physically seen it. So yes, it has been definitively proven. And
okay, prove that we've been to space. Show me a demonstration of aeronautics.
How is a demonstration of aeronautics going to prove we've been to space?
Wait.
Do you know what aeronautics is, bro?
Yes, I know what aeronautics is.
Hold up.
But how is
what aeronautics is? He said, "How is aeronautics going to show we've been to space?" That's what he said.
Yeah. But
no. Come on. Tell me what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do to prove to you. What will you accept? Okay. You give me that first, and then we'll fucking talk. Okay.
It's your claim.
Fuck
you
your
prove
hat,
it
and you
definitively.
tell me no, because I could fucking literally go to the moon and make a fucking call from there, and you would tell me it was bullshit. So you tell
that's
me
not true at all. If you actually
accept
went to the moon, I would believe it.
It's all broken up now.
Hey, can I come with you when we go to the moon?
So,
maybe it's mine. It might be on my end. Sorry.
Right. So this was a probe sent up by a friend of mine. Now, the interesting thing about this probe is that it had 3 cameras on, right? It had, just 35 and 9, so I know where that is. So let me get it where you can see all 3 cameras. So as they sent it up, it had 3 cameras. It had this camera on the left, which was looking up at the balloon. There it is, popping the balloon as it got up to a certain level, right? But it had 2 other cameras on there as well. It had this wide cam, which very clearly has barrel distortion. But it had this narrow angle camera, okay? Now, obviously, all lenses have some kind of distortion. The lenses in my glass, even your eyes have some kind of distortion.
Shit failed.
You win.
What distortion do our eyes have?
Now, what he did to show you...
What distortion do our eyes have?
Our eyes are... What do you mean, what distortion do our eyes have? Our eyes,
what distortion does human eyesight have?
Well, for a start, it's flipped upside down and our brain has to decode it.
Yeah.
That's not distortion, because as we see it, eyesight isn't just your lens or the reflection to your retina. It's
no,
the entire
it's your brain decoding
pathway,
the information.
Right? From your lens to your retina to the optic nerve to your visual cortex.
The brain doesn't even see what the entire thing. Sees.
So that's human eyesight. No, I didn't say what does the human lens the lens only show.
Hold on. The human eyes, the brain doesn't even see what the lens of our eyes sees. All right? So
it sees the data.
Yeah, but it has to interpret and change it in ways that we can understand.
Exactly. And in doing so, we have no distortion.
Let me finish the point.
You claimed we have distortion with our human eyes. What are they?
The eyes, the lenses in our eyes actually have distortion. Of course they do. But
okay, but human eyesight doesn't have distortion.
Yeah, it does, because it has to decode that information. Right?
No, now, you're saying that there's distortion in a specific part, but in totality, that's accounted for, and so eyesight does not have distortion.
Okay,
correct?
Okay, I'm gonna move on. Right. So what he did to show, because you're just ignoring the points that I'm saying. Now, what he did to show,
because you're scared of admitting that eyesight doesn't have distortion, or that
of course eyesight has distortion.
Claim that it does, and
our brains has to decode it. Of course, it has.
Yeah, that's not distortion.
Yes, it is.
That's mere reflecting an image and
but it's a lot more than that. Our eyes are definitely distorted. I mean, our eyes don't.
Go ahead.
Our brain does not receive the image that we actually see. It's very much changed. Now,
where's the distortion in it's basically what's true to life, right? So what do we see that is not true to life? What is the distortion?
Back to the point. This camera,
okay,
that was sent up. This one was a narrow field camera with very minimal distortion. Now, what he did was he put these 2 reference lines on, here and here, to show where the minimum amount of the barrel distortion would be. And as you can see, the lines are perfectly straight. Now, throughout the entire flight, these lines don't change. They stay perfectly straight, which means anything inside here is going to be where the absolute minimal and straight along the exact middle, the 0 amount of barrel distortion will be. Barrel distortion, as you go up, will push it upwards, and as you go down, will push it downwards. Between these 2 points, the barrel distortion is practically 0. And if you go
practically 0.
Absolutely.
That's funny. I swear you can't make this shit up.
How is it funny?
Do me a favor. How about you just go to the very beginning of the video?
How is it funny? How is it funny?
When they're 50 feet off the ground and show the surface of the Earth at that height.
How is it funny? Answer the question.
Yeah, I just said, do me a favor. Go to 50 feet above the ground, right when they first launched it, and show me how the curve of the Earth at that point, and we'll compare the 2.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take you to this point like I was trying to. 50... No, that's not the right one. Where is it? Sorry, I need the right point.
I see a little bit of a curve there.
So here, come on. Need to get it at the right point. So it's
No, I told you in the beginning of the launch when it was off the ground, so we can compare it.
Okay,
right? Because you're saying that we'll see a curve with height, so we shouldn't see it if it's just been launched, correct?
Yep. So let me get there. All right. So as we can see here, he's at about 35,000 feet. I mean, we can also see what the actual barometric pressure is and stuff, and it's 0, and that's going to annoy Spurs. But as you can see, in between the two lines with the minimal barrel distortion, there is very clearly a curve to the Earth. Now, when they first launched that, it's not a claim. You can see that there.
Again, can you go to the beginning of the video to show it just when it was launched so we can compare? Or are you scared to do that?
No, I'm going to do that. I'm getting there if you give me a chance.
Terrified. You got him.
Well, you're taking your goddamn time.
Well, yeah, because you don't shut the fuck up and let me actually get to my point like all flat earthers are incapable of having actual conversations. Now, let me find the full flight of Mage. Where's the uncut one? It's here somewhere.
Craig, all we're looking for, again, is proof that we live on a board.
Yeah, Spurs, just no one's talking to you.
You have to be so rude, Craig.
Yeah, well, you're a bit of a dick, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
Yo, they can't multitask. So right now he's searching for.
I'm trying to find the exact
evidence
that I need. Where's the uncut one?
You can't carry a conversation and search at the same time.
Right now, I'm looking at hardcore porn because I'm kind of done with this conversation. That's between you.
This guy's funny. What he lacks in common sense, he makes up in a sense of humor. So
here
you can think I lack common sense. The common sense is telling me not to even bother with you people. You're just really terrible human beings. We can walk you to the answer, and you could stand over the answer and go, "Yep," and then you'll turn around and start at the back of the beginning of the conversation. It's really quite repetitive.
Dude,
it's tiring.
You just called me a terrible human being. You don't know anything about me except that I say that the Earth is.
I know enough about.
That's the only thing you know about me. Actually, I think I've been
like kind of people. Well, I could probably get.
Apart from not
you can be as prejudiced as you want. That's fine.
Do you think I can get some shit out of you? Do you believe? I bet you don't believe in wearing masks, and you probably think the coronavirus is fake.
Don't derail, please.
Hey, listen, he knows I fucking nailed him. Hey, I said I bet you I could get some shit about you. Because I was right doesn't mean you get to fucking say, "Oh, Disrael." He's the one that said you don't know shit about me. Well, guess what? He knows I know shit about him. I don't need to know much more.
Brainy, hold on. Right, so I don't see any.
There's a reason. Don't worry, Spurs.
Come on,
don't see any curve, really.
No,
it's
very hard to see.
I never even got back to you about a debate on my channel.
It's very hard to see a horizon with the amount.
Yeah, no, go back to earlier. You kind of you let it go up in the clouds and stuff. It was clear view earlier.
Gotta get
there. I mean,
buddy.
You're not going to see the curve of the Earth because there's not really a clear
I went up
view
in
of the horizon.
ultralight shit.
Play the video.
Oh my god.
Let it get. There you go.
Where?
You didn't see the curvature there?
No.
Fucking, there you go, buddy.
Do you want to contest that image? I dare you to contest that image, Craig.
Yeah, I absolutely contest that there's any curvature there.
It's hilly.
Seeing hills.
You
can't even see the
not
horizon.
Not the hills. I said, wait. Go again.
What are we looking at? What are we compressing?
Rise above the hills just a bit, but not into the clouds. Find that Goldilocks spot.
It's going up, dude. It started there. Oh my god.
I mean, you're not going to see the horizon at this point because there's hills everywhere.
I'm seeing it right now.
You
can pause it at any time right now.
Hey, do you see Tinkerbell
just went past
clap art, or is it just like when you? When do you see Tinkerbell? Is it?
We just saw it.
What was
that was
Tinkerbell. Goldilocks.
Oh no, Tinkerbell, Flat Earth. Sorry, I thought I was getting it confused because they're both the same fucking thing.
What? That must be a reference that that I don't get.
Yeah, they're like Narnia.
Yeah, there's not really a horizon that you can see there. There's definitely no curvature of the horizon like you clearly see when you're up high. So
I dare you to compress it.
There is no horizon for you to see. Show me.
I dare you to compress it at any point up until like where it's showing the horizon clearly,
choose a point,
and you'll see that the curve is just the same as at the apex of the height that it achieves.
Choose a point, and I'll do it live for you.
Give me the link. What's the link to this video? I'll put it in the chat. I'll quickly skim it while we're talking and find you a good shot.
You were asking
go to Mr. Sensible Mage Full Uncut. All right. So I just want to clarify one.
No, just hit the URL and put it in the chat.
Oh yeah, I'm on Meets, aren't I? Sorry. Right. So I just want to hide the Meets page because I promised not to dox anybody. There we go. That's the Full Uncut flight. But I just want to clarify that there isn't any measurements of the Earth being flat, but there is measurements of the Earth being a globe, right? Is that a fair point to say?
Could you repeat that?
Is it fair to say that there is no measurements of the Earth being flat, but there is measurements of the Earth being a globe?
No, not fair to say.
Well, can you show me a measurement of the Earth being flat then?
It's not fair to say because you haven't shown any measurements of the Earth being a globe.
I can show plenty. I'll just go to the page now.
Again, remember we want definitive, verifiable evidence.
Yeah. I think measurements that can be verified by anybody with surveying equipment is pretty verifiable, right?
I'm not so sure about that.
Why not? So are you
because
telling me that if
you guys assume
go out and verify these themselves? So if people can go out and verify these measurements themselves, that's not verifiable.
No, it's just the results that they're the kind of assumption that they're making when they're are you referring to getting the different plumb line angles from two different stations?
When you look out, it looks flat, so it must be flat. Are you talking about that kind of assumption?
So what are you referring to? Let's get more context.
I'm referring to an entire list of historical surveying measurements across the world. My favorite one is the transcontinental triangulation of the American arc of the parallel, which used the entire United States from the west coast to the east coast to measure using geodetic surveying methods the curvature of the Earth. And the interesting
what were the geodetic surveying methods?
Using triangulation.
Triangulation.
Yeah.
Using spherical geometry or Euclidean geometry?
Well, what do you think a geodetic surveyor would use? They have to.
I'm thinking that they would use Euclidean geometry.
Well, they would have to use spherical excess.
Yeah, but he's asking you, Craig, what did they use? You're the one presenting it.
They use geodetic surveying methods using triangulation, using simple triangles, right? Now, the important thing about the triangles, if I can get down to
just so you know, going forward, simple triangles refers to simple geometry, planar geometry, Euclidean geometry. They're all the same thing. Okay? No,
it's not.
So they're basically using straight lines.
Hold on. No, you're making assumptions that are completely wrong. It's not planar geometry because there's a very important thing about all the triangles. And that is all the triangles measure up to have a larger internal sum than 180 degrees. Now, let me just get down to the actual measurements where you can see. Now, this particular one, I think, was done in 1913. There is more recent ones using the same methods. Give me 1 sec till I find the right page. Now, just while I'm finding the right page, the interesting thing is that these are measurements that were done by a team in America, all right? And they'd never met other teams around the world. There's teams in India, teams in Europe, teams in Great Britain, teams in Africa that all use same methods to measure if there is a curve to the Earth. And they all came up with the same results. Now, is this where it is? Right. Now, again, you can go here and check out all these stuff yourself. And this is something that is verifiable by anybody that can get hold of the equipment. It's not something that is just made up or a story. It's something that can literally be verified by anybody at all in the world. So this is kind of what they did. They have different points that they measure elevations from, and they measure the angles between them. When they add up all the angles, it can give them a shape of the Earth. And when they added up all of the angles, all of them, which you can see on the list here. Where's the right one? Sorry. Okay. As you can see here on here, the spherical excess, every single one of the angles, every single one added up to more than 180. every single one of the triangles that they measured. And the only
Again,
way
how did they measure them?
By using geodetic surveying methods. I just told you.
Okay, and what were those surveying methods? Like, how did they actually do it? You can't just say surveying methods and then leave it like that. Let's be specific.
Well, I'm not a geodetic surveyor, but the methods include...
Okay, so you don't know enough about the topic to discuss it.
Oh, no, I know a basic amount to explain roughly how they did it.
Okay, what was the methodology then? If you know a basic amount, you should know basically what their methodology was.
So they get different points at different elevations where they know the elevations, and they measure the angles between them. The what's the word I'm looking for? The zenith angles between the points. Okay, and if the Earth was flat and the elevations all match, then the triangles that they measure would add up to 180 degrees or less.
So it's basically what I said then. They have like they take the plumb line angle, right, and they're checking the zenith angle between these two different total stations or whatever you want to call them.
Points that they know the elevation of.
And you said it wasn't that when I said that's what it is.
I didn't understand the way that you were describing it.
Okay, so when they're checking the angle between these two places, are they going by line of sight?
Well, they're using theodolites.
Okay, yeah, but they're using the theodolites and they're checking the angle,
are you trying to debunk
by line of sight. They're lining it up.
Hold on, is that what you're doing?
With sight, right?
Are you trying to debunk geodetic surveying?
No, I'm just debunking your claim that it's proving spherical excess.
We'll get to you. Well, if they
checking the angle?
If they measure a spherical excess, then there's a spherical excess.
No, not if it's not actually spherical excess, right?
Well, then how would they measure it?
So again, how? That's what I'm asking you. How are they measuring it? From
by checking the zenith angles between.
How are they measuring the zenith angle? Go ahead.
By using, like you said, line of sight and known elevation points and checking what the angles are.
Okay, so considering there is atmosphere, wouldn't you expect that the line of sight that they have, like that's why you bending?
That's why you do it over more than just one day. You do it many times, and that's why you have very specific, that I mentioned at the beginning, measurements must include units, significant figures, and a margin of error analysis that will take into account any possible deviations.
Okay, so they're doing it enough times where they develop an average, right?
Let me get up Jesse Kozlowski. So
it's a simple question. They do it enough times they get an average amount, right?
Yeah. So
okay, are you maintaining that average is a straight line?
Yes, of course it is.
Really? You're maintaining that average measurement that they get is perfectly void of refraction and curvature?
Well, no, that's why they take averages, and that's why they have a margin of error analysis.
So, okay, right? So you're assuming that the refraction down
you don't need
always going to be equal to the refraction up.
Stop. No, we don't need to make assumptions about refraction. We've gone through that. Refraction has been quantified. There is no assumption.
No, but you're assuming that the refraction will bend down the light as much as it bends up the light.
No, that doesn't happen. What you do is you take measurements of things like density and air temperature, and then you know what the refraction should be.
Always.
So where do you know that the straight line where it's going to be?
Because you have elevation points.
But wait, how do you know it's a straight line?
Oh wait,
if it's refraction. Like how do you know where the straight line is?
Because you do margin of error analysis. What don't you understand about that?
No, see, you're not understanding. You get your
no, I am understanding. Angle, you're not understanding. Yes,
you get your plumb line angle, right now, and then you're checking the angle to the other station. But when you're checking the angle to the other station, that line, that atmosphere that you're looking at will bend what you're seeing, right? It'll bend the lights from your eye. The light that's reflecting off that theodolite that you got in your crosshairs, it's gonna bend. You understand that, right?
And that is why you do margin of error analysis. You do it over more than one day, and you find out what it actually is.
How do you have a margin of error when you don't have a control?
Well, of course, you have controls when you do it multiple times.
So you've done it in a vacuum over a long distance, a long period of time. I mean, over a long distance.
A control does not mean exactly the opposite. Let me get that very clear.
Well, you're accounting for a refraction. You're saying that the average figure is no refraction.
Now, let me move on from trying to prove to you that geodetic surveying is a valid method when it's used worldwide all the time. And I know geodetic surveyors.
Sure, it is. Just claim it again without actually substantiating it.
It's not a claim. It's a fact that you can go out and verify yourself. Just saying, no, I don't think it works, isn't how it works.
No, I'm just actually holding your feet to the fire in terms of your claim, and you're not. So far, you haven't substantiated any claims you made.
Right. So all of the teams all around the world happen to measure the same thing, right? When they've never met, ever, right? Not only that, but they match with a lot more modern measurements done by surveyors that I know, like Jesse Kozolski. However, these also all match with other measurements done by microwave transmission, which will have the practical zero refraction because of the wavelength of microwaves, and many other ways of actually measuring the curvature of the Earth, including radar and physically seeing it from space to confirm what we've said. Proving that things have been to space isn't an issue. That's done very easily. But
okay, do it then.
Okay, I could just show you a video that.
So we're back at aeronautics, demonstrating aeronautics. If you could please do that, that'd be great.
What specifically would you like me to demonstrate about aeronautics?
I would like a demonstration of propulsion in a vacuum akin to space.
So are you trying to say that rockets can't work in a vacuum? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that I haven't seen any substantiation of rockets propelling in outer space, in a vacuum akin to outer space, 1 × 10 to the negative 17 torr, or thereabouts. So if you have a demonstration of that, that'd be great.
I mean, there's plenty. Just get. So.
And again, remember I said akin to space. It has to be like space.
Yeah, and akin to space.
So don't waste your time with getting a really small vacuum chamber which doesn't have the exhaust dispersed or doesn't maintain the vacuum.
10 to the negative 2 or 10 to the negative 4 is akin to 10 to the negative 17. They are practically the same.
I'm even fine with 10 to the negative 4 if you actually show that the vacuum is being maintained and the gases are allowed to evacuate and disperse as they would in space. The infinite, almost infinite vacuum of space.
Yeah, space isn't a vacuum, but anyway.
Space isn't what?
Space isn't a vacuum, it's a low pressure system, but anyway. This is one that I use quite a lot from Warped Perception, where they actually...
Again, I want to point out Kettle's
vacuum chamber.
Things black. But anyways, we'll just continue forward.
Quite a large.
Thank you for your colorful commentary.
Well, dude, your entire thing is just a pile of steaming shit. Frankly, I mean, somebody's got to entertain these people.
Any claims that I've made, I've substantiated. Unlike this guy,
you haven't substantiated
many claims.
Wait, hold on. What have you substantiated? You substantiated nothing. I asked you for a measurement, and you can't give one. When have you substantiated?
I said
anything?
Any claims I've made, I've substantiated. So can you tell me which claims I've made?
You haven't made any claims.
Okay, there you go. So what I said is correct, is it not?
Technically.
All right.
You claim the Earth is observably flat, which is false.
No, that is true.
No, it's really not.
It's observably flat and motionless.
No, it's not observably flat and motionless, though.
Yes, it is. And I said the gold standard for observing a flat surface, or in the distance, a flat horizon, or the horizon, I should say, are our eyes. And so far, you haven't shown me anything better than our eyes in terms of seeing straight lines in the distance.
You could see 2 degrees with your bare eyes. Did you say that? And then did you also say that you could see that the horizon looks observably flat? And then you also said you couldn't see 2 degrees.
The horizon does look observably flat.
Hey, Brainy, your mic is echoing.
But that's also redundant, because to say it looks flat and to say it's observably flat is the same thing. So to say it looks observably flat is just redundant.
But it doesn't look observably flat, though. It literally doesn't look observably flat.
No, that does prove it. It's empirical evidence. It's direct, definitive empirical evidence.
But you're wrong. It doesn't look observably flat. The fact there is a horizon in the first place means that it doesn't look observably flat.
No, it's observably flat and motionless. It's direct empirical evidence.
Not.
Now, if you're making a claim to the contrary, if you're making an alternate hypothesis to the null hypothesis, the burden of proof is on you.
Hold on. It's not observably flat and motionless, though. No, it's not observably flat and motionless, though. I outright reject that claim from you. It is not observably flat and motionless.
It's axiomatic. You can't reject it. It's the truth.
No, it's not.
As sure as the grass is green, 100% and the sky
disagree.
Is blue, the horizon is flat.
No. You're making a claim there. I've shown you the horizon isn't flat. We've shown
it's not a claim, bro. It's a tautology.
No, it's a claim.
It's self-evident.
it's a claim. I've shown you the horizon isn't flat, and the Earth is not.
No, you haven't. You have not shown that.
I did.
By the way, can we get back to the video? I got a timestamp for you if you'd like.
We'll get back to that in a minute. But no, the Earth is not observably flat and motionless. I observe curve and motion just by looking around me. It's as simple as that. If you're too dumb to figure that out, that is your problem. However, let me just show you
nice ad
law
hom.
in motion. No, that's not an ad hom. That's a fact. I don't know what an ad hom is.
Substantiate your claims, bro. You have a very very noticeable tendency of making claims and not substantiating them. You try to coast through them.
I substantiate all my claims by showing actual empirical evidence that can be replicated. Right, so this is in a vacuum chamber, and you can see the gauge here where it's being maintained. I think it's at 10 to the negative 2 torr on there. And what he does is has the can open, and you see that when he shows it in slow motion, the can moves before the pressure of it touches the wall. It is purely just the vacuum and nothing else. And the can moves even though there is no pressure being touched on the outside wall, which means that it is purely...
That is not akin to the vacuum of space.
Absolutely, it is 100%. I don't care if you say it isn't.
No, because that's a very small vacuum chamber, and it's not allowing the gas to evacuate. And as soon as that thing, what's it called? As soon as it pops,
it starts pushing immediately.
It breaks the vacuum. It's no longer maintaining the vacuum. And then finally, I believe this is the video. If you can actually even fast forward to it, I believe this is the video where it propels off of the can lid itself. It doesn't propel off of it propels off of itself. It's like as if it's taking off ground. This isn't propulsion in a vacuum. This is propulsion off of solid matter.
Hold on. This doesn't seem to be showing you the actual video. Bear with me.
Oh yeah, I'm frozen on my end.
Yeah, I've been going through it, and I thought it was actually showing the right thing. Right. Okay. So, he shows here.
Go right to the part where
when it's in slow
as soon as it
motion,
bursts.
and he's showing that literally before it touches it, it moves straight away. Right. There is nothing here but a vacuum, and it moves. Oh my God! It's done it again.
Can you play it? Because obviously I just paused.
I'm sorry. It keeps freezing for some reason. Right,
go frame by frame.
Why is it freezing?
I know that if I try to run my two cameras at the same time now, my computer just dies.
He does it frame by frame here himself. So we just let him do it. And as you can see, at this point, as soon as it comes out, it's not touching anything else. It is literally just the mass of the stuff ejecting from the back of the can that has made it move. Nothing else.
It's propelling off the inside. Just watch it. Play it and watch the
We're watching it right
now. Come on.
We're literally showing it to you.
Wasn't even
play it. Are you scared to play it?
I'm playing it.
He's playing it. That's one frame.
Let the audience see that
I am literally playing it for you.
Is going to be propelling off of the entire side right there. That lid, not just the lid that
so nobody can actually see what's occurring.
The entire side of it is going to come off.
Are you not seeing this?
For a second.
This guy
are
is
you
losing
fucking
it.
retarded? Are you fucking retarded?
Brainy,
oh my God!
Like, were you not seeing me play that just then?
Oh, no, hold on. Frame by frame.
Don't play the one where he's doing it slow. Just play it normally, Craig, is what we're asking.
I was. What's wrong with you?
No, you weren't. It was going back and forth between the two frames.
Yeah, that's the video that he's
The guy's video might do that because he's trying to show you what happened right when
it popped. And I told you to progress to where it's actually propelling off of the can itself.
But that's
right now it's propelling off the inside of the can. And
answer this question. What's it repelling off now? Already when it's moved before it's touching the sidewall. You tell me that first.
The inside of the can. The inside of that lid.
Right.
So if every action
right where the brake is, it's propelling off that area.
Dude, so you're telling me that you can propel yourself hanging on a wire by pushing in both directions with your fucking hands, because you know that for every action there's a positive and opposite. There's an opposite and equal reaction, meaning that the action of it pushing on the back of the can creates the equal amount of force on the other fucking direction in that can. So the only other thing is the ejection velocity, and it's propelling forward. You don't know shit about physics.
No, there are alternative answers, Brainy.
That is a fucking fundamental law of physics, Spurs.
Let me ask you a question.
Play the video so we can see it.
Two things. Why didn't he play the video to show that it's propelling off the side of the can?
And
two, is it maintaining its vacuum when that exhaust is released, considering how small the vacuum chamber is?
Why would you ever want to do it frame by frame, eh? Why would you ever want to figure out what actually happens? No, run it really fast so you can't see shit.
No, play it frame by frame when it's showing the thing like
it doesn't matter. That fucking moved, you dumbass.
But that's what I'm doing.
Look at that. The entire lid, the entire side is off. Play that part when it comes off. Watch out how it pulls off of mass.
I was doing that. Were you not watching it?
Look at that, guys. Okay, play it frame by frame right there.
Multiple frames in. You can't use the first frame. You got to use the third or fourth when it hits. Just like Spurs removing fucking frames from that one video because you can't use real fucking evidence. You got to alter it.
Yeah. Now,
see that?
What? Yeah, that's a few frames
Spurs,
in.
Any comment?
But let's keep going and we get to the right at the beginning.
Frame by frame as we asked.
We're getting there, Spurs. Right?
See how quick that happens? That's 2 frames right there. See how quick it propels off of that thing that it blasts off?
Let him get to... Right, Brainy, hold on. Right, here we go. Now watch this. It shows you exactly that it's not propelling off of anything apart from the can itself. It uses the body of the can and the mass that it ejects.
Notice how small this vacuum chamber is, and as soon as any exhaust is released, the vacuum is not maintained. It's no longer a vacuum at that point.
Watch. Bigger excuse. Bigger vacuum chamber. Next time it'll be a different fucking reason.
It'll
be. No, don't skip ahead. Hey, don't skip ahead.
I haven't skipped. I skipped backwards. I skipped backwards then. I literally skipped backwards. I skipped backwards so you could see it.
No. You saw the next frame was the entire lid coming off, so you skipped ahead.
Where's 33 UC? He's somehow less frustrating than these assholes.
I literally. Okay, I'll go back. I'll go back to here and I'll play it from there. And that's what I was doing. I was just going backwards a bit because everyone started talking over the bit that we need to watch. So
this is after it exploded, bro.
Let's watch. Right, the frame by frame that he does here, and he shows the first frame.
Stop it! You can stop it frame by frame. You know that, right?
Yeah, he did one frame there, and it moved on those 2 frames.
You can't use the first frame. That's not evidence. You have to use like the 13th frame, I think, right, Spurs?
At this point, it's already moved. What is the gas?
At this point, it's blasting off that entire side of the lid.
Yeah,
that lid. It's tearing it off.
Because it creates an equal force in the other direction.
Yeah, and that's
here's the question for you guys. Hold on.
Will it
propel off the side of the can first, or will it tear?
Oh my God! Can I get a word out?
Which one happens first?
Can I get a word out?
I mean, why bother with these people?
Go ahead.
So, you do know that propelling off itself is how rockets work in space, right?
I mean, I know the principle.
All right, okay. Can you explain to me the principle of how rockets work in space? Because I don't think you do know.
It's basically the same kind of principle that you have in let's say you have inflated a balloon, right? And you just let it go in the air. It's basically the pressure that's inside is going to be pushing it forward. And since gas has equal pressure in all directions, or, relatively, that the pressure on the sides is going to be canceling out. And the pressure in the back, because there's a nozzle there, is letting the mass flow out. It's called mass flow rate. Because that's flowing out the back and the front isn't canceled out, it's going to propel forward.
Right. So you just kind of explained it right. It's more to do with the pressure built up inside.
Okay, so now you answer my question.
Wait, let me hold on. Let me respond to that
tear off first, or is it going to start propelling off of that matter first?
Will you let me respond to what you said first? Then we get there.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the actual force of moving forward comes from the expansion of gas within the combustion chamber. It's a force created inside the combustion chamber, and then the mass ejecting from the other side that allows the rocket to move.
That's exactly what I said.
Right, so you don't need an external pressure.
What external pressure?
You don't need something for the mass ejecting to push off of.
Yeah, you don't. You shouldn't need to. And yet this propulsion is showing that it's going off of that mass. It's propelling off that mass.
What kind of fucking argument was that you just fucking made?
I'm sorry you couldn't keep up, bro. Do you want me to repeat it so you understand?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you'll need it. Maybe you need it 3 times.
It was
we should 13 frames in. What do you think there, Spurs? Spurs, any comment?
Can you answer my question now? Can you answer my question?
Will
the side tear off first, or will it, propel against it first?
Well, the side needs to open so that mass can eject, which will create a pressure differential at the side that is coming on and cause it to move.
Before that thing tears off,
does the entire side of the can tear off first, or does the propulsion start first?
It would probably be...
They start at the exact same time. The second that starts to tear open, the pressure pushes it forward. That's why it's in the first frame.
So if it's propelling at the same time as the stuff is getting torn off, would it be safe to say that it's propelling off of the part that's getting torn off?
Okay, except there's an equal pressure being pushed back the other direction in the can because physics.
So it's propelling off of solid matter.
No.
That's not how aeronautics works in space.
No, it's not propelling off a solid method.
You just said it's propelling off of the side of the lid that's tearing off.
No, I didn't. You said that.
You guys said that happens at the same time. The propulsion happens at the same time that it's getting torn off.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that that one causes the other.
Yeah, they're happening at the same time. So all you're showing is that they're necessary at this point. You haven't isolated either one.
We're showing that it moves.
This is like the curvature of the Earth and bent laser again. You haven't shown that it happens. That one happens by itself.
That's exactly what it's showing. I mean, it's showing that you don't need an external pressure for it to move, which is exactly what
keep on playing the next frames just so the audience can appreciate how much of this lid, how much it propels off of it.
Yeah, they've seen this several times when I've shown it as evidence in my shows.
Well, I mean, there's no harm in showing it again, right? Instead of just representing your side of the argument right here.
Spurs, jump in here, buddy. Come on.
The argument.
Why are you letting your buddy do this whole thing? You got nothing to add?
But I can...
Get in here! I thought you were...
Can you please just play it a little bit farther so we can appreciate how much of that lid just blasts off?
Yeah, the entire lid will blast off, but it doesn't change the fact that in the first frame...
I'd like it frame by frame. For the audience, I'm sure there's someone
the audience, it shows it frame by frame. I don't need to do that myself. He did that for you. But it doesn't change the fact that before the fucking lid had even been blown off, the second mass was ejected out of one side, it moved. Okay? Now, your misunderstanding of the of how rockets actually operate in space doesn't change the fact that... Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying. I actually have another friend of mine that has recorded something going into space, showing that it is physically going from an atmosphere into a near vacuum.
Okay. So before we get to that, can we just go back to that can real quick? Because you guys, it feels like you guys are trying to say that the movement before the entire lid blasts off is actually this aeronautics at work, right? But that would only be correct if the container or the combustion chamber or however you want to term it remained exactly the same. Now, if we could go to those two frames that you kept on going back and forth because you were scared to go to the next frames that were showing it propelling off of the lid.
I was just playing the video.
You'll see that the opposite side of the can, the front of the can, which is actually the bottom of the can in reality, you'll see that it actually pushed out.
Let me be clear. When I say shut up, everyone shuts up. Right? I have been showing the entire video.
I can leave too.
Okay, look at the left side of the can. Push out.
Right. Oh my God. Can everyone shut up and let me speak for a second, please? All right. I have been showing you the entire video. You keep saying you're scared to show it. You're scared. I have literally been letting the video play its entirety. How am I scared?
Yeah, but you're not doing it frame by frame where the part.
He does it frame by frame himself.
I want you to do it frame by frame where it's.
I don't need to.
Showing the propulsion off the lid because that was my point, and you're trying to skate by it.
I'm not. He shows it frame by frame here.
Yeah.
And again, and even in these frames, by these backwards, front and back frame by frame that he's showing, that you keep on playing, it's showing that left side of the can blow out. Now you can expect movement in the can after that blows out.
Even though the rest of it's a vacuum, which showing that you don't need an atmosphere for things to move.
It's blowing out. So it's asymmetrical pressure to one side. You can expect some movement. And it's not even
which is
showing
that rockets can work in space.
It seems like there's a little hole created at the one side, so
which shows that rockets can work in space.
What?
It shows that rockets can work in space.
No, it does not show that.
Yes, it does.
No, all you're showing is propulsion off of solid matter.
No, it's not off of solid matter. It's just off of what it is. It shows
no, you're showing propulsion off a solid matter, and you're showing that when there's a blow up, like a little mini
it's not off a solid
blowout,
matter. There is no solid matter.
maintains
It's a
the container,
vacuum. You
but makes an
fucking
asymmetrical
retard.
force that you'll have movement.
It's not solid matter. It's a vacuum. It is propelling off of nothing.
Here's a simple question: is the combustion chamber dimensions, the exact dimensions, being maintained when the left side of the can blows out like that?
There is no combustion chamber in there.
I know, but we're using your terminology to relate it to, aeronautics. That container, are the dimensions, the exact dimensions being maintained when that left side blows out? Not the right side, the left side, where the metal just like went outwards. It didn't break, but it went outwards.
Yeah, there's no combustion chamber. Now, honestly, you keep saying aeronautics, but
I don't think it means what
I understand.
No, I really don't think.
I mean, you're scared. It's fine.
How have I? You keep saying I'm scared. That's a typical flat Earth thing.
It's a very simple question. Are the dimensions of the chamber, the dimensions of the container, being maintained, perfectly maintained, when the left side of that metal blows outwards?
Oh, you're talking about the can?
Of course I'm talking about the can.
Yes, it's not a combustion chamber, it's a can. And no, the specific dimensions of the can will not be the same once the gas pressure has been released.
Okay, so now no, I'm not saying once the gas pressure is released. Even before it was released, that left part of the can blew out a little bit. And I'm not talking about the right lid completely like tearing. I'm talking about before it even breaks, before the container breaks, the left part blows out a bit.
No, it doesn't.
All right, that's fine. We can move forward if you don't want to keep going.
You're scared. You're just scared.
Yeah, I'm obviously scared of showing evidence.
I can tell when someone's turning on their heels and running.
I'm literally defending it. Yeah, Spur Sharp, we'll get to you.
Consider this mercy.
I got a question. Can you tell when you removed 13 frames or something, or
I'm being merciful?
So
that's something you can't tell by looking at it. You'd have to.
So basically, we've shown that there's measurements that the Earth is curved, and there's 0 measurements that the Earth is flat. Now let's move on to rotation. Rotation is a very, very easy thing. All right.
If the Earth is spinning at one rotation every 24 hours, that means that every hour it has to turn 15 degrees. And if the gyroscope is mounted anywhere on Earth, it's going to drift. In today's 21st century navigation systems, they're using what's called a ring laser gyroscope. It is extremely precise. If we could simply get one of these ring laser gyroscopes, we would be able to prove once and for all that there is no rotation to the Earth. One of the people in the community actually purchased one for $20,000. But what we found is when we...
Is there a reason why we're watching this?
Gyroscope, we found that we were picking up you
can't just state your argument?
per hour drift.
This is just one particular part of the evidence. The Earth has been measured to rotate.
Incorrect.
I just showed you a video showing it was measured to rotate.
No, you showed a video showing drift.
He said so.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
and that's the rotation of the Earth, 15 degrees per hour. That's
affirming the consequent fallacy.
No, it's not.
You do not know its rotation. All you see is drift, and you're claiming its rotation without adequate evidence. That's affirming the consequent.
It's not affirming the consequence. That's literally
Baba Booey. Webster's Dictionary 1212. Sorry, what was that?
It's not affirming the consequence. It was literally measuring.
Man, you can throw whatever terms you want at it. Where'd
the 1212 come from? Did you just throw in a mic check real quick?
Because it makes about as much sense as anything you're saying.
What that particular interferometric fiber optic gyroscope picked up was a 15-degree rotation in 3 axes.
Okay.
So the Earth's rotating.
No, it was drift in this
ring
laser gyro in 3 axes, right?
Why would you detect a drift of 15 degrees per hour in 3 axes if it wasn't rotating?
Wait, is it actually 3 axes?
Yes.
So what 3 axes? X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, as you would
have.
How? No, it was L, F, and P actually.
Can you show me that this ring laser gyro actually measures in 3 axes?
Yeah, I did an entire video on it where Bob was showing Nathan it actually doing that.
Okay, can you pull up a picture? Can you pull up a picture of the diagram of the ring laser gyro?
I can bring up
Can
the
you
video
bring up
of you showing of Bob doing that.
Certificate of the guy.
No, because Brainy, we're not making any claims, are we? I mean, you claim.
No,
the Earth
you
is
never make
turning,
claims because
rotating,
you're a dumbass.
and we're just looking for evidence of that.
Your own flat earthers have made these goddamn claims. So stop trying to make us fucking certify the shit that your own people say. It's garbage. Just get over yourselves and keep going.
Yes, regardless of who makes the claim, if it's not substantiated, it is discarded.
Joke as there is. So I'm just going to keep saying shit. You can keep arguing with FTFE.
If the claim is not substantiated, it is discarded.
So the fiber optic gyroscope measuring in 3 axes is verified and can be verified by any fiber optic gyroscope in the world. In fact, it is every time a pilot turns on his plane, and it.
Okay, can you show us one ring laser gyro? Like, you know, just show us a schematic or a diagram, or ideally you just have a video of the thing itself.
Yeah, I'm getting that video up if you just bear with me.
All right.
So,
because again, Brainy, I mean, if you've been lied to, you should also realise you don't have any evidence, and we can't prove what we're talking about.
While we're at it, I could make some baby formula for you, and we could get a bottle going, maybe warm it up on the
science is all that's needed, and we've got to be able to verify it. And obviously, if it's verified, we can assess it.
Hold on, everyone, shut up! Thank you. Great, Brainy, seriously. All right, Spurs, you don't know anything about science. You're not allowed to say the word science when you're on my channel. That is a rule. So this is my most popular video, actually. It's got nearly 200,000 views on my channel. And is the video that I did about when Bob proved that the Earth rotates using his fiber optic gyroscope. Now, there's a portion here where he is showing Nathan Thompson how it works. So let me just bring that up for you and we can watch it.
And you can see
him playing with his toy.
So this on the moon.
So
yeah, that's the way. So this thing actually is mounted to the frame of the aircraft. Okay. So when you mount it on the aircraft, and say my front of my hand is the front of the plane. Front of the plane. All right. And you can see this thing right here, which what it is an attitude or an artificial horizon is what it's called.
And Bob is right, they do use them on planes for the artificial horizon because they are extremely accurate. Like really, really accurate.
Just keep watching.
And down here you have the very, very fine roll, pitch, and yaw. And you can see they're all moving, right?
There you go.
It's just sitting here, but they're all moving.
Yep, they're all moving as a gyroscope maintains its fixed position relative to the distant stars of the universe, which means it will register the movement of whatever it's on. In this case, your desk, which is on your house's floor, which is on the Earth.
Hold on,
this is rotating about
because I saw the box, like a metal cylinder with a
Now, what everybody is most interested in is they're saying, well, you know, that 15-degree-per-hour rotation is picking up the roll. But the interesting thing about what's going on here is you have movement on all the roll, pitch, and yaw axes, and it's essentially doing this.
Bob. So, yeah, there's Bob with his gyroscope, his fiber optic gyroscope in front of him, showing how it measures rotation in all 3 axes.
Okay, so just for clarification, a fiber optic gyroscope is the same as a ring laser gyroscope, correct?
They work on the same principle. They are slightly
so they're not
different
the
in
same.
Their construction. They both work on this ANNOUCEMENT principle. They are slightly different in their construction, but they both do the same thing.
Okay, well, you claimed that this 15 degrees per hour rotation was seen with a ring laser gyroscope. Are you discarding that, and now you're changing it to a fiber optic gyroscope?
Well, thing is, Bob is the
one. You understand what fiber optics are? They're fucking light, you dipshit.
Now,
yes, I understand. That's why I have to clarify, because lasers are also light. So I clarified to see if they're a different thing or the same thing. So again, are you amending your claim?
If I answer the question, that would be fantastic. So when Bob first did this, he first claimed that it was a ring laser gyroscope. He later claimed that it was a fiber optic gyroscope. I believe it is actually a fiber optic gyroscope, not a ring laser gyroscope, but they both work on exactly the same principle.
Okay, so what is the technology? Like, what's the method of a function for this fiber optic gyroscope?
It uses the Sagnac effect.
That doesn't answer my question.
It absolutely does. Not my fault. You don't know what the Sagnac effect is.
What's the structure of it?
Well, it's very simple. You have a laser with a path of light that it can follow. I could show you a two-dimensional representation if you like.
So does this work in all three axes, like you
Yes.
said for the ring laser gyroscope?
Yeah, that's why they have them on airplanes to be able to.
Okay, so this path, this laser with a path of propagation, you're saying it propagates in three different axes.
No, but you can tell just by one path of light and it's moving. You can tell by the interference pattern when it comes back which way it would have drifted.
So it's only propagating in one axis.
Yeah, but you can tell the laser travels around a set path. However, by the interference pattern that it would meet by if it moved up or down or sideways, when the two laser paths interact, you can tell by the interference pattern above, below, to the side, which way the
hold up. You said the laser moves in a path.
Yeah.
And then now you said with two paths interacting. So is it one path or two?
Well, it's one path with a laser traveling opposite ways around it.
Okay, what axis is this path?
Well, the path is two-dimensional. However...
Yeah, I understand. Is it in the x-axis or the y-axis or the z-axis?
Well, it depends on which way you're holding the gyroscope for that, really. Let me show you the Sagnac effect, because I don't think...
And you're saying that these two lights go opposite of each other in the same path? So basically the lights collide with each other?
Let me explain what a fiber optic gyroscope is.
They don't have to collide with each other. They're like laser beams that are basically just right beside each other. So think like a highway, 2 lanes. But they're going the same distance. So it's a mechanical distance. So they have the same pathway to take.
So this is basically.
By the way, I believe
that's a good explanation. Actually, that's better than he did. So I appreciate that.
Well, that's why I was trying to get a visual representation.
Like two parallel pathways.
It would not have to have multiple, like it would have to have 3 of these to do all 3 axes within the one gyro, right?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Well, there's
so
different ways that they actually
remember in different orientations to do all the axes. So this one pathway is only doing one axis, but this is what it does.
So this is just representing the one axis. Okay, so this blue box will fire a laser. This line represents a silver-sided mirror, which allows half of the light to pass through one side whilst reflecting the other to the other side, okay? So if the laser fires the light and it's on something that physically isn't moving, that means that the path of light remains the same distance, and as C is constant in a vacuum, the light will combine back and you won't see an interference pattern, and that shows that there's no movement. However, if it's on something that is rotating, in this case in two-dimensionally in 2 axes, what happens is, because light is traveling in a straight path, the path that it's actually traveling around will be moving underneath it, meaning that it has to physically travel a different distance. So when the light recombines at the other side, it's slightly out of phase and you register an interference pattern. And that can show you how much drift it is. Now imagine this, but with 3 things happening in your pitch and a roll, all doing the same thing, all measuring that movement, and to show you whether there is a drift in a particular direction. And then obviously using the information from the 3 different axes, you can give a accurate determination of what the rotation is. Interesting side note about the Sagnac interferometers is that they don't just pick up the 15-degree rotation per hour, sorry. They also pick up the 1-degree drift a day in 2 dimensions around the sun, as Bob also says in that video that I can show you.
Okay, so there's some sort of drift, right? And you claim it's rotation. But before we get into the drift in itself, I want to talk about light. So do you think maybe we do not understand light as well as we think we do?
No. The fact that you and I are talking like this right now shows that we have a perfect understanding of light. Thank you.
Really?
Yeah.
Then can you explain quantum entanglement and the delayed choice experiment?
Yeah, quantum entanglement doesn't really have anything to do with light.
Yeah, that's not. You're getting into quantum physics, which doesn't have to do with the basic natures of light.
Really? It doesn't have to do with photons? Are you serious?
The quantum entanglement.
Nature of light.
Quantum entanglement isn't anything to do with the basic nature of how light propagates. And quantum entanglement isn't photons using faster than light.
And the more
you're cutting in and out, or you're fading. I can barely hear you.
Yeah, quantum entanglement doesn't have anything to do with the speed of light.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't claim that it has to do with the speed of light. But quantum entanglement shows that with one particle, when you make a change to one thing, one particle, then another particle will show the exact opposite, right? So and you could claim superpositioning or what have you, but
that's like a super layman's explanation, but almost.
So that combined with what we know very little in terms of the quantum level in quantum theory, but for that combined with the delayed choice quantum eraser experiment, it shows that the light reacts in ways that we can't expect, or ways that we don't understand. When you look at it and it's a photon, and then you make a change, it somehow in real time turns into a wave. It gets observed as a wave. Light is a very weird thing, and you guys yourselves commit special pleading when you claim that light maintains the same speed.
Never changes.
But
all of those things
also
can be true.
Causes time dilation when it travels through different mediums.
Sorry, say that last bit.
The speed of light doesn't
change.
You
guys claim that light maintains the same speed, but the reason why it looks like it's going faster or slower is because of time dilation.
Brainy, let me. I'm not hearing what you're saying.
Brainy.
I know he's talking about time dilation.
I just want to hear the end of his sentence. Then we'll come back to you. Sorry, could you just repeat the end of what you said?
So simply put, you don't believe that the light in that interferometer or the light in that gyroscope is traveling at different speeds, right? Like one particle isn't traveling faster than the other, for instance.
No, I want to go back. I want to go back to what you were saying just now. I didn't.
Yeah, so I said in the same medium. You believe that the light travels at the same speed. In different mediums, it travels at the same speed. You believe that there's time dilation that's affecting how quickly it propagates.
In a vacuum, light will always be...
They've tested that. Light, no matter who the observer is, if you were going 99, basically from what we understand, and it has been tested, is that if you were moving 99% of the speed of light and you emitted a light from a flashlight, it would still leave at the speed of light. But to somebody outside of that situation, it would appear like you were right behind the light, but to you, the light was still leaving at the speed of light, and that's time. So the only way for that to be possible for both observers to be seeing light, both people are seeing the light go the speed of light, is for the time to be what's changing, because it has to. It's like an equation on math. You have this variable that isn't changing, but the other one is. The only one remaining now is time. So we know that light doesn't change because the math doesn't works that way.
Yeah, the speed of light never changes. The speed of light will always be c. As simple as that.
No, it does which change is weird. Depending on the medium.
But I agree with you. Light is very weird. That is weird.
No. Even going through a medium, even though light may appear to slow down, the speed of light actually hasn't changed. The interaction of light between particles hasn't changed, and the speed that light is traveling between those particles.
No. You can slow. You can slow the light down. You can't speed it up past the speed of light.
Yeah, on a quantum level, Brainy, no, you can't even speed light down. Even though it may seem to appear to slow down in different mediums.
Beyond my understanding level.
Even though it may appear to slow down in a different medium, it's actually to do with the speed that light is traveling between each of the individual particles within a medium. That doesn't change, but obviously light is going to have to take longer to go through a medium that has more particles for it to move between, etc. So
exactly, and that's why I brought up like quantum entanglement and the delayed choice quantum eraser experiment, because they show that there's data that's somehow being transmitted with faster than the speed of light. It's instantaneous. In fact,
oh my God,
it changes its position even after you change the apparatus, right? After you put truth when you change the apparatus.
Practicalities that you're getting mixed up here. I think that's what FTFE is.
No, the point is that there is other variables at work that we do not quite understand.
Yeah, but none of that has to do.
There's some way that this data is being transmitted instantaneously to the particle that could be on the other side of the world, faster than the speed of light.
Okay, so none of that has anything to do with the speed of light. Nothing at all.
It does, because we see light exhibiting like acting as a wave, right? It acts as a wave all the time.
The speed of light doesn't change.
And waves, as we know them, require mediums. Now, if there is something like in and of itself, you can special plead and you say light is magnificent and amazing and one of a kind, and it doesn't require a medium whatsoever. But the fact that now we know that there's data transmitting faster than the speed of light.
That
really means that there has to be a method of communication, right?
Yeah. Okay. Now, your misunderstandings of quantum theory aside, none of that changes.
What did I misunderstand? Be specific when you try to ad hom.
Oh my god, I'm not ad homming.
Well, you gotta remember, they're not breaking the speed of light just because they like there's a lot of physics involved. Like that's why they don't talk about going faster than the speed of light. They talk about
the information breaks the speed of light from one particle, one constant angle particle to its parent. The information is faster than the speed of light.
Right now, okay, so
what is conveying that information?
Let's get back to how none of that changes.
And how it's working are different necessarily.
Okay, let's get back to how none of that changes the fact that in a vacuum the speed of light never changes. Ever.
Unless there's another another variable, another medium, whatever it is.
There isn't.
Right? We don't know what is causing that.
No, it's been tested. The speed of light doesn't change. It's been tested.
Just completely gloss over everything that I've been saying. Okay.
Quantum entanglement doesn't change the fact that the speed of light.
We'll say light is magnificent, and we'll special plead and say it's unique.
No, there's no special pleading.
Now, how is that drift rotation?
Stop. Hold on. No, you don't get to do that. The speed of light doesn't change in a vacuum. That is indisputable.
In what vacuum?
Any vacuum. The speed of light doesn't change. No, it's not incorrect.
The more density you have in any medium, the
that's not
speed
a vacuum
of light,
if it fucking gets,
right?
Yeah.
So the only way it won't change is if the vacuum is a perfect vacuum, which we don't have.
Again, light doesn't even slow down in a medium. You need to understand that. Light literally never slows down. It takes time to go between particles in a medium, but
you're not even agreeing with your compatriot because he said light slows down in mediums.
Oh, he did then say
he's
that
right.
That's above his understanding. But like I've said,
some of the theories that we're working at there are beyond my level, so that's fine. I'm okay with admitting that. There's nothing wrong with that. I know thermals more than I know that part of physics.
Yeah, the Brainy knows more about pressure than I do because he literally works with that all day.
Pressure and temperature.
Simply stated, does light take a longer time to propagate through the same distance of medium when there's different densities? Yes or no?
No. Light will always propagate at the same speed.
No, through the same distance of medium.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the speed of light's actually changed down, though.
Okay, but the point is it takes longer, right?
Yeah,
to get through the same amount of medium.
And we know in a vacuum, and let's say anything 10 to the 2 torr or below.
You have to be specific when you say vacuum, because we don't have a perfect vacuum.
Let's say anything 10 to the 2 torr and below is a vacuum with practically zero particles.
A non-perfect
right?
vacuum. Continue.
Yeah, well, there is no perfect vacuum. We know that. There's never a perfect vacuum. Right? But in a 10 to the 2 torr vacuum, there's going to be one molecule every 2 or 3 meters squared. Right?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not.
Well, that was the whole thing you guys all got on when they said the moon was in the atmosphere. That was the whole idea.
The more density that you introduce, the slower the speed of light is.
So there is no density inside an interferometer. One of them is literally done in a glass tube. One is done in the wee vacuum chamber. There is nothing that changes the speed of light. The speed of light in a vacuum is constant. We know this. And the Sagnac effect is well documented. And it registers a 15
It's not
degree
constant
drift.
in a vacuum because there are no perfect vacuums. It would only be constant in a perfect vacuum.
It is constant
otherwise,
in a vacuum.
It depends on the density.
When you
as the medium changes and more density is introduced,
if I'm classing a vacuum as anything,
down.
If I'm classing a vacuum as anything a 10 to the 2 torr and below, then the speed of light will always be constant in those measurements. Always.
Incorrect. Because if you have a vacuum at times 10 to the negative 2, the speed of light will be slower than a vacuum at 1 times 10 to the negative 17.
No, it won't, because there's not enough molecules to change the path of light.
You're saying there's no molecules in times 10 to the negative 2?
Maybe one molecule every 2 or 3 meters squared.
Okay, now increase your scale.
Yeah, and there's still not going to be enough molecules to change
that light was
the path of
traveling
light.
for
no, okay, you've changed the topic here. We
1,000
don't need to change the scale because we're talking about an interferometer which is on a very small scale and has a vacuum which has a known speed of light within it. And the fact is hold on.
We can move forward, but as soon as you concede that the speed of light at 1 times 10 to the negative 2 will be different over distance than 1 times 10 to the negative 17.
No, it won't be. The speed of light will always be the same.
Really?
Yeah.
So where's the cutoff of where it starts to slow down? How much density do we have
It never slows down.
How much density do we have to introduce into the medium?
It never slows down, and it's changing the topic because we're talking about an interferometer where there is no particles inside
but
of it.
You said it slows down over the same distance of medium, so you're contradicting yourself.
I said that it will take longer to go through a medium because there's more particles.
Okay, that's what we call, in basic terms, slowing down. taking longer.
I mean, if you want to talk in layman terms, then yeah, but the light doesn't slow down ever.
That's the content. That was like the
right. So
point
right,
of
you don't understand
right
how light works. Okay, but anyway, so this shows a 15-degree rotation in 3 axes. Okay, now we can back that up in other ways, because if the Earth is rotating at 15 degrees, there is certain things that we should expect. Now I want to talk for a second about the scientific method and the way the scientific method works. We make an observation. We use the observation to make a hypothesis. We use the hypothesis to make a prediction. We use the prediction to design a test so we can test the prediction, and we look at the results and see where we go from there. So we have an observation, and my observation is that the Earth appears to rotate. I can make a hypothesis that the Earth...
What?
Yeah, well, you're saying I can't have an observation that the Earth appears to rotate?
You never observed the Earth to appear to rotate.
I do, absolutely. I can look at the stars and say,
observing,
to me that... no, you don't get to tell me what my observation is.
What's called a fiber optic gyroscope.
Hold on.
Have different
light
arriving at different rates.
Stop.
That's what you're observing.
Will you stop? Okay? My observation
I'm just keeping you honest.
Yeah, okay. I'm not specifically talking about the fiber optic gyro right now. I'm talking about other things. Okay?
What are you talking about?
If you'd stop interrupting, you might actually learn, all right? So my observation is that the Earth appears to rotate when I look at the stars. That makes my observation of the stars moving gives me the hypothesis that the Earth is rotating. All right?
Okay, so the observation are stars moving. Stars rotating.
The observation is that the stars move in a specific way in the sky that to me would suggest that the Earth rotates. So from that, my hypothesis is that the Earth is rotating. Okay? Perfectly valid following the scientific method. So
no, it's actually like ass backwards.
No, sorry, you don't.
You observe the stars rotating.
Yeah. So my hypothesis, my hypothesis based on that is that the stars are doing what they're doing because the Earth is rotating.
So whenever you observe something in nature, you're automatically going to assume the opposite is true.
No.
Well, that's what you're doing right here. You're observing stars rotating, and now you're assuming that the Earth is the one rotating.
Hold on, my hypothesis can be whatever I want it to be, right? And
okay, I'm just making sure that you realize that your natural observation is that the stars are rotating.
Yeah. And my natural observation of the stars moving in the sky in a specific manner to me suggests that the Earth rotates. So I have a hypothesis that the Earth rotates. That is perfectly valid. So I would make predictions based on that. And my prediction, based on the Earth rotating at the speed that we say it does, at 15 degrees per hour.
No, based on the stars rotating. Again, be clear about what you're saying.
My hypothesis is that the Earth is rotating at 15 degrees per hour.
So you can say based on your hypothesis, but don't say based on the Earth rotating, because you haven't confirmed that whatsoever.
But that's what a prediction is, right? So you need to pay attention. My hypothesis is that the Earth is rotating at 15 degrees per hour. So my prediction is, if the Earth is rotating at 15 degrees per hour, then we should expect certain things to happen. One of those things that should happen is that if there is a pendulum swinging on Earth, depending on the latitude that it is at, it will drift a different amount. That is a prediction based on the maths of a Earth the size that we have spinning at 15 degrees per hour. If that is happening, then a pendulum at different latitudes will drift different amounts depending on the latitude that it is on Earth. All right? So that's a prediction that follows the scientific method. So we need to design an experiment to test that. And luckily, that's been
I disagree.
Done. I don't care if you disagree. You're wrong.
I disagree because I feel like it's a jump in logic, a non sequitur to observe the stars rotating and then
but that's irrelevant. You don't get to decide what my hypothesis is. You don't get to decide what my hypothesis is.
You would first test if the stars are indeed rotating.
No, that's not what I'm testing. That's not my hypothesis. My hypothesis is that the Earth is rotating, so that is what I test.
So you're going to just do like non sequiturs and confirmation bias. All right.
No.
Craig, you said you make a prediction.
Spurs, I'm not talking to you. Be quiet.
Well, you did say you make a prediction.
Spurs, stop. I'm not talking to you. Please be quiet. Spurs, I'm not talking. Spurs, I'm not talking to you. Please be quiet. Thank you.
No, very well. Fair enough. Use your own pseudoscience.
All right. This isn't pseudoscience. This is following the scientific method. No, this is following the scientific method. My observation leads to a hypothesis, and my hypothesis can be whatever I want it to be. My hypothesis could be that there is a magic guy in the sky turning the Earth with his hand. Well, I would have to make a prediction on that and design an experiment around it. But no, my hypothesis is that the Earth is rotating at 15 degrees per hour. And from that, you make a prediction. If the Earth is rotating at 15 degrees per hour, then it should cause something to happen. Something that is measurable, verifiable, empirical. And if the Earth is rotating at 15 degrees per hour, the Coriolis force from that would force a pendulum to drift a different amount depending on the latitude. That is an observation, a hypothesis, and a prediction following the scientific method. Your hypothesis can be whatever you want it to be, remember. My observation leads to the hypothesis that I want it to. I just have to test that following the scientific method. So I've made a prediction, and then I need to test that prediction. Luckily, that prediction has been tested. Would you like to see that test?
No, this experiment is not valid. It's not a valid experiment.
It absolutely is. It follows the scientific method exactly.
Because your variable, you're supposed to be like the cause is supposed to show the effect, right?
Yeah,
and the effect is supposed to be the observation, the natural phenomenon that you observe.
And it all does.
So how are you showing that the pendulum is rotating the stars?
That's not what I'm saying. My observation is
you're saying there's a disjunct. So you can see there's a disjunct between your observation and
no, there isn't. There isn't though. There isn't though, because it goes on my hypothesis. What's my hypothesis? My hypothesis.
It doesn't matter. Your hypothesis can't my
hypothesis can be whatever I want it to be.
Form a bridge between a disjuncted reconcile this chasm.
My hypothesis can be whatever I want it to be. Right?
Observed phenomenon.
No, listen. Right. I have specific observations.
That belongs to a different phenomenon.
No, it doesn't belong to a different phenomenon. I have specific observations that show that looking at the sky and what happens in the sky suggests that the Earth is rotating.
Yeah, but you should see the effect in your experiment, which is what matches
what we're testing for.
Phenomenon.
And that's what we're testing for.
So you're seeing the rotation.
No, actually, you're wrong. You're wrong there.
Stars, right?
You're wrong. No, you're wrong there. Your prediction is based on your hypothesis, not on your observation.
So the observation has nothing to do with it.
The observation leads you to a hypothesis. My observation has led me to the hypothesis that the Earth is rotating at 15 degrees per hour.
The actual experiment has nothing to do with observation.
No, because the experiment is based on the prediction from the hypothesis.
Yeah, no, I understand that. So you're saying that it's only the prediction of the hypothesis and not the observation. The observation absolutely doesn't matter.
The observation is what leads you to the hypothesis.
Yeah, it would, right? And you would think that because there's a relationship from the observation to the hypothesis and the hypothesis to the experiment, that the experiment would be related to the observation. But what you're clearly showing here is that there's no relationship, because we don't see any.
My observation is that
of this pendulum, you're not showing that the stars are rotating because of it. You're not showing any relationship between.
I am showing that if the Earth is rotating, there is an effect that we should see. So you test for that effect.
But that's not what you're doing, though.
Yes, it is what I'm doing.
It's not what you're doing, because
you're saying I'm not testing for an effect.
Recreating, if you're doing this test, right? You have the independent variable and the okay. Let's just do it step by step. What is the independent variable?
In the experiment, the independent variable would be the position on Earth.
The independent variable is the position on Earth. Okay. Yeah. What's the dependent variable?
The dependent variable would be the amount of swings of the pendulum.
Okay, so wherein are you seeing the rotation of the stars?
That's not what I'm testing for.
Where are you seeing the rotation of the Earth?
In the prediction that we've come from. If the Earth is
rotating, seeing the rotation of the Earth in the prediction, but not in the effect whatsoever.
The effect shows that the
rotation. You understand how there's a disjunct here? It's a non sequitur.
There isn't.
How it's not adding up together.
No. I'm sorry, but the pieces are fitting, because if there is a rotation, there is an effect that you should be able to test. So you make a prediction and you test it.
Whenever, if we see any sort of movement in this,
you have to assume
pendulum,
to make prediction.
That means that the Earth is rotating, because you're guessing that from the stars rotating, it's actually really the Earth rotating. That's your science.
We are making a prediction and testing that prediction, and that is the scientific method.
No, I'm telling you, bro. Your test does not match your observation, from which you somehow magically derived. You oppositely derived your prediction.
You're wrong. You're wrong. My test comes from my hypothesis,
I'm wrong.
not my observation. You're not substantiating anything. You're just denying the fact that my observation can lead to any hypothesis that I want. I just have to be able to test that hypothesis. My observation, specific things that happen with the stars in the sky, to me suggest that the Earth is rotating. That's my observation, right? Can we agree on that?
Yeah, you're supposed to be able to show that effect, though.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to do. And it's
You're
not the effect
You're
of
not
the
showing the rotation of the Earth, nor the rotation of the stars.
I'm not trying to show the rotation of the stars. I'm trying to show that the Earth is rotating with an effect. Oh my God, how dumb are you?
All you can claim right now is that
we're going to start at the beginning. We're going to start at the beginning. We're going to start at the beginning and walk you through it step by step. Okay. My observation of the stars suggests to me that the Earth is rotating. That's my personal observation. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, it's your personal crazy thought.
No, my personal observation.
No, the observation itself is the stars moving. The thought is that this is really not the stars moving. It's really that the Earth is moving.
And that's the hypothesis, right?
Yeah, which is your thought, your idea. It's a crazy hypothesis, crazy thought, crazy...
And you know what? Hypothesis can be crazy. It doesn't matter if hypotheses are crazy.
I know, and I'm telling you it is.
Right?
Continue.
Right? But that's valid according to the scientific method. I have an observation. From that observation, I have created a hypothesis. Agreed?
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Okay. Right. The next step in the scientific method is what?
You tell me. It's your experiment, right?
No, I'm not asking about an experiment. I'm asking you if you know what the next step of the scientific method is after
I just told you.
A hypothesis. What is it?
I just told you. It's your experiment.
No, the experiment isn't the next step. The next step after the hypothesis is you make a prediction.
That's basically part of the hypothesis, but continue.
No. They're separate things. You use
if you want to argue semantics, come on, just push it forward instead of gatekeeping.
So
keep it moving.
You use the hypothesis to make a prediction, all right? My hypothesis of the Earth rotating at 15 degrees per hour leads me to a prediction that if you are a certain latitude on the Earth and you swing a pendulum, that pendulum will drift a specific amount based on the mass of the Coriolis force. This is a prediction based on a rotating body of 15 degrees per hour. This should physically happen, all right? So you've made a prediction. You then...
Hold up. So you're presupposing the Coriolis force?
No, I haven't presupposed anything. You have
for your prediction.
Predictions have to include assumptions. That's how you test for them. You realize that?
Okay,
right?
But you're like asserting this assumption incorporates a force that you haven't proven yet.
That's what the experiment is for, okay? If the Earth is rotating, right, that will cause a Coriolis force, okay? Mm-hmm. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if the Earth is rotating at 15 degrees per hour, as my hypothesis states, that will cause a Coriolis force. My prediction is that we can test that Coriolis force by putting a pendulum at different latitudes on Earth and seeing if it would drifts the amount that we expect it to according to the prediction. Are we okay so far?
Dude, I understood the first time. I don't know why you're running through it again. Again, you're not reconciling the chasm between your experiment and the observation.
I am, though.
Because in actual science, you see an observation and you find out the cause of that, because that is the effect.
No.
The observation is the effect.
Wait, you've just skipped like most of the scientific method. You just went straight from observation to effect.
I'm not saying that is the entirety of the scientific method, but I'm saying the scientific method is showing cause and effect relationships. Okay?
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing. That is what I'm doing.
The effect is the observed.
Stop. Remember what I said when I told you to stop?
That's the effect. And you're trying to recreate it, or you're trying to observe it.
Remember when I said stop?
You can even do observational science and observe that cause.
When I ask you to stop, when I ask you to stop, you need to stop. Okay? I am using cause and effect. All right? If the Earth is rotating at 15 degrees per hour, there is an effect that we should see, and the cause of that would be the Earth rotating. So that is what we have to test.
That's not what you're testing in this experiment, though.
Yes, it is.
Your hypothesis,
I am testing my prediction.
Your hypothesis
from
and your
my
observation
hypothesis.
do not match your experiment.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. Because
I am testing.
If your experiment is
if I am making
a
prediction from my hold on. If I am making a prediction from my hypothesis, how am I not following what it is? My prediction of a pendulum swinging comes from my hypothesis of Earth rotating at 15 degrees per hour. They are the same. One
because
will cause
again,
the other.
The dependent variable is the effect that you see. It's the observation that you see. Okay?
No.
Yes.
It's not the observation that you see. No.
It is observation.
No, you're wrong.
I'm telling you, bro. That's how it works. You observe something and you recreate it.
Do me one favor.
To find out what causes.
Where did you learn about the scientific method?
It doesn't matter, bro. That's
it
the
does.
scientific method. It's cause and effect.
Please tell me where you learned about the science.
Like you observe
and I am following cause and effect. Right? Please.
And then you figure you hypothesize as to what might be causing it.
And then you make a
formulate an experiment based on that.
No, you missed the prediction. You missed the prediction.
Let me finish, please. Let me finish instead of talking over me.
No, you missed the prediction.
So you have
you're wrong.
An independent variable or variables, and you change them so as to recreate the effect that you observed.
No. You don't have to recreate the effect that you observed.
You can't just say no.
Yeah, because you're wrong. You don't.
That's how it works.
The scientific
cause
method.
And effect relationship.
Yeah, but it's not about recreating the effect that you observed.
No, that's what it is. The effect is the observed phenomenon. No. You're explaining the observed phenomenon.
And I am explaining the observed phenomenon of the Earth rotating by testing it.
You're not testing it though. What you're doing is just showing movement from like.
Based on a prediction.
You're showing a pendulum moving. You don't know why it's moving.
But that's what.
You're assuming that because it's moving, it somehow means that the stars aren't in fact rotating as you observe, but it's actually the Earth rotating.
Do I have to mute you?
Continue.
Right. The prediction comes from the hypothesis. The prediction is that a pendulum will drift a specific amount based on the Coriolis force from the Earth rotating at 15 degrees per hour. If the Earth is rotating at 15 degrees per hour, there will be a measurable Coriolis force. My prediction from that is that a pendulum will drift a specific amount based on your latitude on the Earth. So you design an experiment to test that prediction. The experiment will include the independent variable and the dependent variables and the control variables. It does all of them. But the important thing that you are missing is that you have to design an experiment to test the prediction that comes from your hypothesis. I have 100% followed the scientific method by having an observation, a hypothesis, a prediction, an experiment. That
they just don't match each other.
Oh, they absolutely do. You can say they don't, but they absolutely do because one comes from the other.
Except the effect doesn't match the observed phenomenon that you.
It does. No, absolutely does. The effect of a pendulum drifting matches.
It's an invalid experiment.
No, you said. Hold on. My effect of the pendulum drifting matches my observed phenomenon of the Earth rotating. They are one and the same.
No, it doesn't. Those aren't the same thing.
Yes, it does, because you get a prediction from one.
Again, you made a crazy prediction without evidence, and
that's why you
made a crazy hypothesis. Just because
that's why you test.
Like you
your hypothesis
saw
can be
what
you want
to see with observation with your confirmational bias doesn't mean that the effect is the observation.
It doesn't matter.
They're not the same. They don't match.
It doesn't matter how crazy the hypothesis is. It really doesn't fucking matter. As long as you can test that.
It shows you it's quack science. Pseudoscience.
Except it's not pseudoscience when it follows the scientific method, which I have done 100%. Mic drop.
you follow the scientific method for two different things.
No, for one thing of my observation.
Two different things. The observation doesn't match the experiment. The experiment would match a different observation.
You can say all you like, but you're wrong.
So, for instance, let's say magically in nature you saw like.
Anyway, I'm done talking to you as an idiot.
Vine, and on the vine a rock was attached, and you saw them. You saw it like processing. Then you could formulate an experiment where if you at different areas, maybe the rock would process differently, or you'd have this pendulum that.
Yeah, I'm bored of that idiot just denying everything. Spurs, I want to talk to you now. Are you ready?
On the spot. He left with his friend, probably. Spursy poo. Spursy poo. Spursy. He was really just leaving his friend to do all the work, wasn't he? He's not even here.
He's just left. I was about to bring Red's Rhetoric on to have a chat with him.
Spurs, come on, buddy. You don't want to talk with Reddy? We had a surprise for you. Come on back, bro. How did you fucking maintain a conversation with that guy? I was ready to just...
Oh, my God, honestly. He just denies. I mean, you understand exactly what I'm saying about the scientific method, right? And how it follows it exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I was drifting a little bit mentally, I won't lie.
I mean, anyone that... what he misses completely is that my hypothesis can be whatever the fuck I want it to be. It doesn't matter how crazy it appears to be, because a lot of hypotheses can appear crazy. But my observation leads to my hypothesis. My hypothesis leads to my prediction.
That's his argument. Come on, just giving it to him now. Just kidding. I'm fucking kidding.
All right, I'm trying to get Spurs back in for just 10 minutes.
Spursy poo. Spursy. Come on, buddy. Come. You can make fun of my weight. You can take all the fat titty marks you want. I said marks. I didn't use an R. Yep, that happened. I was there for it.
Fucking Spurs Chemo has run away. I'm trying to get him to come back.
Because he were mean to his friend. How dare you tell that innocent man? Sorry.
Your pseudoscience doesn't match. You don't understand the scientific method. I mean, the experiment has the independent variable and the dependent variable. What a fucking idiot he is.
Use the 13th. Their FTFE. You can't use that first one.
I can't use what? I can't use my hypothesis.
You can't use the first frame. You need to use the 13th frame, like the 13th frame.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Right. Remove from. That's why Spurs doesn't say a damn word when I say that. He's always quiet. He doesn't want to touch it.
All right, let me try and get. I'm gonna just call Spurs and on.
Spurs knows. Super smart.
And joining right now is the ugliest person I've ever met, Red's Rhetoric. How you doing?
Working on it. Don't worry.
How's it going? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Spurs is running away, but if you give me a sec, I'm going to try and get him back in. Can you guys hear that?
Yep.
And
he ran away when I booted his friend that likes denying everything. Denies that they have to give evidence, denies that anything is science, denies measurements. Lovely. Spurs is being a little baby.
Spurs?
Oh, you won't fucking answer. Well, if he doesn't want to answer, maybe we can just expose him for the piece of shit he is, Reds.
I mean, I saw a message from him on Discord from like 2 years ago that was enough to make me never want to have him on my channel ever, as a point of matter. So,
well, Spurs doesn't want to come back, Reds. He seems to have ran away as soon as I mentioned your name.
Yep, he would, especially with the shit that he's been involved with.
So, would you like to take a minute?
Assuming people would like to go ahead and see this, so Fight the Flat Earth. I sent you a screenshot, and can we go ahead and show that screenshot and demonstrate why Spurs is scared?
Yeah. The plan was to have Reds confront Spurs about this particular message that he put up. So,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let me explain what's going on here. A few days ago, actually a day after Christmas, I lost a friend. He was a part of the community. His name was Bullionator. He passed away on the 26th. And we were having a hangout to honor his memory and also to raise funds for his final expenses, funerals and such. Spurs thought it was appropriate to come on to my fucking hangout in the live chat, the hangout that I was having to honor my dead friend, and he decided to say this. His denial of the flat earth was probably what got him. He decided to use the death of my friend as a springboard for a joke. Are people starting to figure out why he ran away?
Yeah, I think he knew what was coming.
It's becoming obvious at this point.
I think he knew exactly what was coming. I think he knows exactly what he's done. Now, the thing about Spurs is that he's been labelled a troll and a PO by many people. I'm not entirely sure if he's a PO. I think he's genuinely stupid enough to believe the Earth is flat, but he is a trolling piece of shit. On the level of P. Mars.
See, there's a time and a place to troll. When I'm having a hangout to honor my dead friend and to raise funds for a funeral, that is not when it is an okay time to be a trolly piece of fucking dog shit.
And hold on, that can be extended to a whole bunch of other pieces of shit that also showed up.
There's a time and a place for everything. That was not the time. That was not the place. And Spurs, you can seriously go fuck yourself for that. You will never talk to me again. I will do everything I can in my power to make sure you never show up on this channel again, or mine, or any other channel, because quite frankly, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You are an absolute piece of fucking dog shit. That you would use the death of a human being, another human being, the death of my friend as a springboard for a fucking joke.
And this is why I spent the entire stream just telling Spurs to shut up. I didn't want to talk to him. I wanted to speak to the new idiot he brought along, which was the biggest amount of nutter that I've ever encountered. But that was Spurs Gizmo's last appearance on my channel. And I'm going to ask a specific thing of the community here. That none of the community allows Spurs back on their channel. None of the community allows Spurs into their Discord. None of the community allows Spurs to get the recognition and the, you know, the giving him the validity of actually talking to him. The only reason I had him on today was so Reds
pronunciation like aluminium or something.
Yeah, the only reason I got him on today was so Reds would have the chance to cuss him out. But unfortunately, he ran away like a little baby. So instead, what you get to see is why he is a piece of shit and why he will not ever be allowed back on my channel. And I hope that the community will stand with me and Reds on this and never.
Well, have you seen the other comment that he's ever made about homosexuals?
Talk to Spurs again. Yeah, Spurs is a piece of shit. He's in my Discord right now going, did you check the account? Yes, Spurs. The account's been checked. And it was fucking you. You fucking know that was you. Don't deny it.
This is exactly why he will not show up here, which is why you called him twice and he didn't fucking answer. And as soon as you mentioned my name, he ran away like a little bitch. You know what? I've said what I needed to say about Spurs. I'm fucking done with this shit. So Spurs, fuck you. Fuck off. Never speak about me or my friend ever again. And suck a fat one.
Yeah.
All right?
Spurs.
With that, I'm out of here.
Well, Reds, before you go, should we talk about what's going on?
Oh boy.
Spurs is he's in my Discord right now going, oh, it's not me, show the account. Spurs.
Well, everybody, just so you all know, it turns out Reds is actually getting a no, I'm just joking, sorry.
Fuck you,
the way you
Spurs.
said it, you made it all like
Spurs, you are watching the channel right now. I know you are. Fuck you, Spurs. That is you. Stop being a horrible piece of shit. I have defended you in the past, and I regret that now. Spurs, you are fucking done. Oh, he says he's doing me for slander. You know what? Fucking try and do me for slander. Let me get this up right now. Let me get this up on fucking screen right now for you, Spurs. Right? I want you to look at this. I want you to look me in the eyes, Spurs. I want you to look me in the fucking eyes. You are a piece of fucking shit. You have used the death of an amazing member of this community to try and promote your fucking bullshit. Spurs, fucking do me for slander, because I 100% say that was fucking you. You horrible, horrible piece of shit. Fucking suck an exhaust pipe. Sorry.
I mean, that might have already happened. This could be how we got here, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But yeah.
Now people know why I didn't show up at first. Well,
yeah.
Anyway, let me just get on to the second piece of news I wish to tell people. I will be sort of, kind of, maybe not really abandoning my channel, and I will be teaming up with Fight the Flat Earth on his channel to bring you guys Flat Earth debunking content from now on. So yes, myself and Fight the Flat Earth, we are now a team. This channel will be hosting both of our videos, and we hope to be debunking Flat Earth nonsense together for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So that's the game plan. This channel has a new member, and yeah, I can't wait to get started. I'm already working on my first video, and it should be posted on Friday.
Awesome. So to clarify what's happening, guys, Red's Rhetoric is becoming a permanent member of the FTFE channel. He's going to be doing regular debunking videos once a week. He's going to be involved in the majority of the live streams that we do. If you want to see Red's Rhetoric from now on, you come to FTFE. This is a channel that both of us will be pushing, and between me and Reds, we will have 100k subscribers on this channel by the end of the year. But I also want to say that this dude sitting next to me with a stupid grin on his face that smells like vanilla and desperation is also going to be part of the channel in the way that he is a permanent guest. I thoroughly believe that Brainy Beaver is one of the best content creators on YouTube, and everybody should subscribe to him. If you're not subscribed to Brainy, then you should definitely do that. And he's going to be on the channel a lot more, helping me and Reds out with destroying these moronic flat earthers.
Just sit back, be quiet until I get aggravated like I normally do.
Yeah. So if you want to see Reds from now on, guys, you come to my channel. There's going to be the first video from Reds will be released at 4:20 p.m. on Friday the 8th of January. From now on, guys, if you want to see live, if you want to see the premieres for videos on this channel, you need to become part of the 420 Club. Isn't that right, Reds?
That's right. So every Friday at exactly 4:20, obviously, the video will go live. And I want to see my 420 gang all show up for the premiere. Let's go ahead and start this show off. Let's start this year off with a fucking bang. I want to see all my bitches and hoes in the live chat enjoying themselves, debunking flat earth fucking nonsense, and let's make this a year to remember, because between you and me, fuck 2020. Let's make 2021 a lot better, and let's make this channel fucking strong as fuck, and let's make it a thorn in the ass of every single flat earther in existence.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to what's coming for the channel. You're going to be getting regular videos on a Friday from Reds, regular videos on a Wednesday from me, the normal Monday night debates. We'll probably be doing something extra maybe on a Thursday and a Saturday.
Ain't smell of vanilla, always.
Brainy will be invited to every live stream we do if he's available, but if you don't see him on this channel, then I will always be encouraging you guys to check out Brainy Beaver on his channel. Could one of my lovely mods please spam the link to Brainy Beaver's channel? And please go and subscribe to him. Yeah. But in the future, you want to see Red's Rhetoric, you come to my channel. You want to see FTFE, you come to my channel. And I hope that 2021 is going to be a better fucking year than 2020 was. Reds, do you want some good news to start off the year?
I would love some good news.
Globebusters channel's gone.
Oh, good. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're going to D Live, so everything's going to go to D Live now.
Yeah. Oh no.
Good.
Apparently they're going to something else called Lighthouse, which they think is.
Well, their videos are going to go to D Live, but they've got another website, the Lighthouse or something, that's not live yet. So I don't know. They want to direct everybody from Globebusters to this other website, but they can't keep the channel named Globebusters because then YouTube doesn't allow them to direct people to the website because conspiracies and stuff. So it's against TOS. Anyways, They can keep trying. The AI knows exactly who they are based on who their content followers are.
So in the past few months, we've had Jaronism's channel disappear. We've had Globebusters disappear. Nathan Thompson's been removed from YouTube. Yeah. Taboo Conspiracy's channel got taken away. He's got a new one up, obviously. Flat Earth looks like it's dying, but me, Reds, and Brainy are going to fucking finish it off, aren't we?
Yep, absolutely. And after Bull's passing, I was kind of not really in the mood to do an award ceremony for Dumbfuck of the Year. So if it's all right with you guys, I will go ahead and just say what the winner is right now. I'm not going to have a award ceremony right now because again,
that's understandable.
Bull's passing just took the wind out of my sails, to be completely honest with you. So I'll just say who the winner is, and then that will be that. Well, I wanted Kyle Curtis to win, but he didn't. Unfortunately, he came in second. Third place was, of course, Unirock, because fuck that guy. So the winner, unfortunately, is Nathan Thompson.
Way! 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row.
Yep, Nathan Thompson has won Dumb Fuck of the Year. So congratulations, Nathan Thompson, you piece of shit. You now have a trophy to your name.
Oh, lovely. So for 2 years running, I have predicted the correct winner of Dumb Fuck of the Year. Congratulations, Nathan Thompson, on being officially the stupidest fucking person in the worst fucking year we've ever experienced as humanity. Congratulations to Kyle Curtis for being a dishonest piece of shit and coming second, and congratulations to Unirock for just being generally one of the worst people on the planet and coming third.
Yep. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and say peace out. I'm going to get back to making my video and having it ready for Friday, and then yeah, that'll be it. So see you guys later. 420 on Friday. So my 420 crowd, see you there, and we will make 2021 a year to remember. All right, I'm out. Peace.
Peace, Reds. See you later. And just to say it again, because I know Spurs is watching. Spurs, you are a piece of shit that used the death of an amazing member of this community to try and make a joke. Don't try and say it wasn't you. We all know it fucking was. And if you want to try and sue me for slander, please fucking go ahead and use Sleeping Warrior as your lawyer, because, you know, that will fucking help.
I think he's always a piece of shit. That's not slander. Opinion.
No, you are a piece of shit, Spurs. You literally are. You're a homophobic, racist asshole. It's as simple as that. You literally are one of the lowest forms of scum that I've ever come across. I just want to show anyone that's just tuned in, just once again, First Chemo thought it was appropriate to post this in a stream about the death of an amazing member of this community, Bullinator. So yeah, fuck you, Spurs. Absolutely 100% fuck you. Yeah. Oh, I also want to take this moment to say goodbye to someone else that was very close to me. Let me just, yeah. So there's a member of my family who has been with me for years. He was born in 2007. My little boy, Rufus. Let me get the desktop capture up so I can actually show you him. So this was my little boy Rufus. This was the first picture ever taken of him in 2007. And then this is one of the last photos ever taken of him. Just a few days ago when he passed. I just want to say goodbye. And I'm sorry that that's making me tear up. I just want to say goodbye to him. He was such a big part of my life. And he helped my son so much. I've got a little boy with ADHD and Asperger's. And that cat helped him so much. And then my wife found him dead in the living room. And he's gone. So I just want to say goodbye. And I hope everyone else can say goodbye to my boy. Rufus, you were an amazing cat. And I'm sorry. I fucking started crying. He really was my boy's best friend. He really helped my son. And he's gone. He had a good life. And I loved him. So goodbye, Rufus. It's been a hard time with the passing of Bull and the community being upset, and then this was just the final throat punch of the year. And I just wanted to say goodbye. He helped my family so much, and it's like losing part of me. And I'm sorry that it's making me choke up, but I just wanted to give the chance to show my boy to everybody, and everyone have a chance to say goodbye to Rufus. And I'm sorry that made me choke up. Oh my god. But anyway, 2021 is going to be an amazing year. I've got good memories of Rufus. Everyone's got good memories of Ballinator. We can take those memories with us as we go on for a much better year. Brainy, thank you for being an amazing friend and for joining me tonight.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, thanks for having me as always. And yeah, it's gonna be 2021. That's the year. This last year, I lost my dog too. Fucking dog's tag sitting right fucking here. Fuck 2020. Fucking 2020 can go.
Pets are straight up part of your family, and we'd had him for 14 years, and he was just the nicest cat. So
yeah, we only got 9.5 dog. I definitely thought we'd get more than that. So yeah, no, it's terrible. Yeah, the cute guy.
Good night, handsome. Honestly, the most gorgeous cat in the world. Good night, Rufus. Sleep well. But that's going to be it for tonight, guys. I hope you've had fun for the first Dumpster Fire 2021. Look forward to the content coming with Red Rhetoric being a permanent member of the FTFE channel. Brainy Beaver will be showing his ugly face as much as possible. If you're not subscribed to him, then I seriously suggest you go and do it. I'm going to read super chats, and then we're going to get out of here for tonight. Thank you very much, everyone, for the support that you've given me. Obviously, 2020, even though it was a shit year, it was an amazing year for my channel. An amazing year for my channel, and the support you guys have given me is unbelievable. The amount of super chats and members and sharing my channel, it's incredible. Thank you to everyone who shares my channel, because that's one of the best ways to help me. We had 3 new members when we started. We had Mark, Zajac, General E Shady, and IMD Fox. Thank you very much. You get to use the awesome emojis of Nathan Thompson in jail, the Vlad Blob, and thanks, Bob. Draco Fire for 500 Japanese yen said he's not going to be active today because he's at work, but he'll be listening in. He expected a dumpster fire, and it was a dumpster fire. Happy New Year, Craig, and here's the 2021 with FTFE, Reds, and Brainy. Thank you. General E Shady for $2 Australian says, Spurs has no one, nothing, nada intelligence. Absolutely. I'm sorry if I ruined your name. We got Presmex Widjiki for 10 PlayStation Network dollars, I guess. Says Spurs is so dense he would never reach equilibrium. General E Shady for $2 Australian says, everyone, let's hear it. Gas, go down. Oh my god, Nathan There's a video coming about that. Don't you fucking worry. Spurs, I see you type in shit, and once again, sue me, you fucking piece of shit. Try it. See what happens. You fucking wanker. And we've got Aslan for $5 Australian. Flatty, let's just cut the BS. You don't even know what your fantasy world looks like. Reconsider your life choices that made you fall for this BS. Just before I continue with the super chats, I do want to make a correction of what I said earlier. When talking about spherical excess and stuff, Sean Hufford pointed out to me that I said something incorrectly. Spherical excess is not done with zenith angles. The excess is measured with 3 theodolites. Each theodolite measures the angle along the azimuth between the other 2 stations. So I kind of helped the confusion there by saying it was between the zeniths and not the azimuths. Zenith up, down, azimuth left and right. So they used the azimuth to actually figure out the triangles, not the zenith, like I was saying. I don't mind admitting when I'm wrong, though. Flat earthers can't do that. Then we've got Mark Zajac for 10 PlayStation Network dollars. Challenge for you. Read my name correct. Oh, yeah. No, I probably couldn't do that. Mark Zajac. Is that right? C4 for $5 says, no, not Poe-cent. He's a well-known lying Poe, getting for zero evidence and childish nonsense. Yeah, all he had was nuh-uh. That's not real. Nut fucking Aslan for $5 Australian says, one definition of horizon is also the limit of one's knowledge, experience, or interest. Flatty horizon is very limited. Yeah, and also the horizon curves when you go up high enough and look at it, and the fact there's a horizon means the Earth can't be fucking flat, you retards. General E Shady for $2 Australia says, intros, FTFE, Beaver, Spark, and another dumb twit. Yeah, any flat earthers is a dumb twit. Aslan for $2 Australian says, just show him the bendy laser. It's broken. Yeah, it just went, yeah, well, refraction. Tommy Gronville for 20 Nokia says, this troll is the other troll's friend. Just saying, they're all trolls. Truth Nerds for €2. Please let him do his intro before the dumpster fire. Generally Shady for $2. Australian. Brainless Beaver talks over. Shut up. I'm not. I think he wants you to be quiet, Brainy.
Yeah, probably. Spurs is a pro. That's why I was getting annoyed with him. I can't handle him, and he brought a friend who's just as bad. So that's all that was.
I know Brainy gets angry.
I'm tired tonight too. He brought me on. I could feel it before we started, and then I'm like, "What are we doing again?" He's like, "Spurs," and I literally went, "Okay, I'm gonna go hit the hooch again one more time." Hit the. I literally was like, I can't even do this without being somewhat intoxicated in some form. It's just, it's tiring. He's tiring.
Thank you for the.
Comes in my Discord. He hides things in corners of my Discord. Sorry. He hey, sorry about talking over him. He didn't have anything to talk about.
I know, Brady. When you need to stop sometimes, though. I know you've got ADHD as well, bud. I know you've got ADHD as well.
I was just pissed off and fucking done with them. And Spurs, by the way, has said some very, very homophobic things before. I have seen the tweets, and I have a gay brother. And so the fact that I was even engaging with that piece of shit is, I haven't said that to him, but I know I've seen his tweet. I've seen his message.
Yeah. Spooninator is amazing. Spurs Chemo is just a homophobic asshole piece of shit. Spurs, again, sue me. Everything that I've said here, I am 100% fucking sticking by. Sue me. See what happens, you little bitch.
I want to add that when you announced the whole the whole Reds Rhetoric thing, it's funny because I was looking at something on my screen and I realized that somebody's already cut me out, and they've gone look, Brainy Beaver was totally taken by left field by this. You can see the shock look on his face as it's happening. It's sad. It'll be clipped on a bunch of flat earth channels tomorrow or something, or somebody with a U and a rock in their name might talk about it. But it's funny because I knew about this. It's just,
Unicock?
So I realized as you were saying it, I looked at myself and I'm like, oh, you look like you're disappointed.
So, PhD Tony for $5 Australian says, it's almost like ground-based optical observations are problematic and some other evidence. Seismological is better suited to this problem. Tony, you're right. Seismology is an amazing way to actually describe the shape of the Earth to them. And it's evidence that I am specifically studying at the moment, so I'm able to explain it better. If that asshole ever comes back on, I don't know, what was his name? Precog or something? I don't know, stupid. I'll get you on to try and explain seismology to him. Present or something? I don't know. Stupid fucking name. But you're right, Tony. Seismology is literally only possible on a globe. Then we got Off Lamo for $5 says, have you seen Panoramas Present with David Weiss, Biblical Cosmologies? Always seem to be on point with magical thinking, but fail at science. Yeah, anything with God fails at science. Dib for $2 says, reminder, science is not a religion, Spurs. Weeboo Metalhead for $5 says, Spurs and the other Flerf, what is the genetic fallacy? Yeah, they just say fallacies randomly. Oh, you're using the burden of proof fallacy. You're using the making an assumption fallacy. But no, it's not fallacies. You have to make assumptions for predictions. It's how they work.
I was just fucking fallacy, beep boop. It's oh god.
Yeah.
I expected those kinds of responses, right? That's all.
Yeah, exactly. No,
it's more of a heart than I do in that part.
It's like Nathan Oakley says that if I say the word if, I'm begging the question. You know that to make a prediction, you have to use the word if. Gas go down, boom, boom, Nathan. Gas go down, boom, boom. C4 for $5 says...
He still used the suck my balls thing again. I thought it was so funny. I'm like, oh my god. One trick pony.
If he had balls, that would maybe be worth it, but... and we got C4 for $5 says, FTFE, you want to have a good conversation with Posent, ask him about relative density, lol. I should have got there. I ended up booting him because I want to talk to Spurs, honestly. C4 for $2 says, who wants to take bets on percentage is a lying po. Well, when I challenged him to that £1,000 bet, he then backed out pretty quickly, didn't he? Briantology69 for $1.99 says, bet Flerfs think David Blaine is an actual sorcerer. Are you telling me he isn't? I thought David Blaine was real magic, right?
You've ruined my entire... It's just the glass shattering.
I saw him walk on water, man. I saw him walk on water. You can't tell me that shit's not real.
You shook in my existence.
I know.
Frankly.
Although, like, David Blaine's obviously just he's a musician, but there's one guy that actually blows my mind. Have you ever seen Darren Brown?
Maybe not.
He can literally control people's minds by just saying things. It's crazy. Look into Darren Brown. He did this one thing where he made an arcade machine that was a zombie game, where it would flash at certain points and it would send the person into a trance, a coma almost. So they put it in they put it in a bar and they got these people to come and play it, and it's like a zombie game with a gun, but it's flashing, and as it's flashing they're like slowly passing out. And when they passed out, they took the person into a building that was the same as the zombie game they were playing, put like a fake shotgun in their hand.
That sounds like a fucking nightmare. That is almost cruelty to human beings. What the fuck? Like in that one movie, hilarious. Agent, where he keeps wanting to put the guy to sleep, cover him in fucking tar and feathers, and have him put a fake gun in his hand, and just have him wake up covered in feathers with a gun in his head. Just running around screaming.
But seriously, the people wake up and they're like, "What's going on?" And then like they've got this gun, and they see zombies coming through, and they're like, "What do I do?" And like they're like, "I'm gonna shoot you! I'm gonna shoot you!" And then they have to fucking shoot. And, oh my god, it was so mean, but like absolutely brilliant.
Anyways, the best part was Jackass when they used the boards and they had the guy think he was honestly like, they had him doing the prank, and then they had the taxi driver in on the prank, so he like throws him in the back, and they like, guys, go, dude, we're just getting in a fight. And he goes, "Get out of here!" And he goes, clack, clack, clack. They hit the boards together and make it sound like gunshots. When they pulled their buddy out of the trunk, he pissed himself.
Yeah,
he thought he was about to get murdered.
Woo, woo. More super chats, thank you.
Funny.
The Snark for €2 says, "Happy New Year, Craig." Happy New Year, The Snark. Please continue with your amazing music. The Snark, if you guys don't know, is the guy that did the Cats. Cats, Conspiracy Cats. Let's check him out. Then we got Weeboo Metalhead for $2. Spurs partner, does science prove? I'll answer that. No, you don't prove things with science. And then we got G1 Soundwave and Brainy Beaver, who both became new members. Thank you very much. It means the world to me. It's close to 250 members now. That's amazing. We've got Johnny Marr for £3, who says, "Simply ask why the shadow on the moon is circular." Well, because the Earth's a disc on the back of a turtle. Turtle, obviously. Pivot Croy for €5 says, "For every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, except for when you're debating Flerfs. The knowledge is only coming from FTFE's panel." Thank you. Benny Olsen for $20 Donkey Kong dollars says, "Greetings from Blib." Hello from Blib, thank you. Then Why Kick a Moo Cow, #855 for $5 Australian says, all of these arguments, and I am still yet to hear a Flerf explain how day and night work on Flat Earth. Magic, obviously. Richard Petrus for $5, Spurs argument.
I actually lost it halfway because of my ADHD, so just keep going.
Spurs argument, "I don't understand, therefore you're wrong. Spurs is literally just JM without the butcher's smock. His knowledge is as extensive as JM's." And then Richard Petrov for another $5 says, "Pilot here. Every checklist says check gyros, otherwise you get spatial disorientate and crash. This has actually happened. Look at Copper Flight 201. And as a pilot, you can definitely confirm that your gyroscopes register 3 axes, right?" And his only fucking argument against interferometric gyroscopes was, well, quantum entanglement. Oh, you've heard a clever word, and now you think it means something, don't you? Fuck's sake. And he didn't understand quantum entanglement at all. And then we got Aslam for $2 says, "About RLGs, why is it that they all show the same?" Obviously, they were all programmed by NASA. Richard Pertusa for another $5 says, "The Lavoisier theory of oxygen combustion was crazy as hell. Doesn't make it invalid." Yeah, they thought germ theory was fucking crazy, but you know. And we got Keith.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah. Keith.
Yeah, he had to prove it. So just before you keep going, in the exact same category of thing, one of the new things they've only discovered in the last 10 years is that bacteria that can cause ulcers in your stomach. It's one of the causes of acid reflux disease and stuff. And this is in the last decade even, there was a doctor who was like, I think that this bacteria, was it pylori B or pylori A, or there's a bacteria you can get in your stomach from drinking the wrong thing at a restaurant or whatever. It can happen to anybody. And it's very common, they've learned now. And what it was is he had done enough research that he said, I think this bacteria can cause ulcers in your stomach. And all the other doctors, and this is in the last decade, they were like, no, that's bullshit. There's no way. It doesn't work like that. And he disagreed with them to the point where he had to prove it because they said that doesn't exist, blah, blah, blah. So what he did is he made a cocktail. These are the kind of people that need to be held up as heroes. He made a cocktail that was just teeming with that bacteria. And he basically said, if I drink this, I should start getting ulcers in my stomach. So they scoped him. They took pictures of the inside of his stomach, showed that he had no ulcers in his stomach. He drank the cocktail, filled his stomach with the bacteria, let it propagate for a couple weeks. They scoped him, found his stomach was full of ulcers. He made a little cocktail to drink over the course of 7 days, which is what they use now to get rid of it, and it's fucking horrible. In fact, my doctor said you don't want it to be that because he said the cure is almost worse than the disease, because it just makes you feel like garbage for a week straight. But then he took the cocktail, cleared the bacteria from his stomach, and then showed how the ulcers started going away after he cleared the bacteria. And ever since that, now that doctor, if you go into the doctor and you have certain problems, they might scope you now because they want to find out if your stomach's getting ulcers in it, which might mean you have bacteria forming in your stomach that's causing it. So then that's how they did it. He had to prove it. So he went, well, fuck y'all then. And he fucking hammered her back to make a point. So, anyways, continue with that's a true story, everybody.
Yep, people actually testing science. And we've got Keith Milner for £5 who says the prediction can be different from the observation. In fact, it probably should be. Otherwise, you aren't really testing it. And that was my point. That your hypothesis can be whatever you want. I mean, the hypothesis from that could be that the Earth is motionless. Therefore, a prediction would be that a pendulum doesn't drift. They're not mutually exclusive. That one leads to the other. If there's an effect that you expect from something happening, then it's the cause and effect relationship. Fucking idiots. Aslan for $2 Australian. He is literally describing pseudoscience. Yes. And then another one for $2 says, whoa, he makes Vlad look smart. Impressive. Yeah, you're right. Vlad looking smart is impressive. And then we got another one from Aslan for $2 Australian says, Flat Earth attracts scum. End of story. Yeah, just look at Spurs Chemo. You fucking scum. Then we've got Gordon Brisket for $5 who says Spurs should be the Flat Earth's Chris Benoit. Everyone needs to erase him from history like Stalin did Nikolai Yezhov. I don't know enough about Russian history, but sure, why not? Richard,
I don't know who that is, but maybe that's why.
Richard Pretrov for $5 says for Reds, dumb fuck of the year moving here as well. I think in the future the dumb fuck of the year will probably be done here as well, as Reds is moving to this channel permanently. You'll obviously still be able to find all of Red's old videos on his channel, but there's not going to be anything new uploaded on Red's channel. Reds is joining this channel full time and will be putting out regular content on FTFE. So it's kind of FTFE 2.0, and there's a new intro and stuff coming to kind of show that as well. Aslan for $2 Australian says, lazy fuck sake, teaming up with the easiest job. Love ya. Yeah, teaming up with Reds makes things easier for me, that's for sure. C4 for $5 says, my condolences, brother. I'm sorry about crying about my cat. I'm only human. Thank you for the condolences, though. Aslan for $2 Australian says, pet's the only reason to believe in heaven. If there's a heaven, then Rufus fucking went there. I mean, come on, just look at it. Look at this. Look at this little bundle of happiness. He was literally a couple of hours old. Look at him. Isn't he gorgeous? And then look at the man he turned into. Oh, I'm going to miss him so fucking much. Oh, I don't want to start crying again. Gaza, the Master of Europe, for £4.99 says, need a good laugh after testing positive for COVID-19. Thank you, FTFE. Looking forward to the coming year and seeing the new content. I hope you have a swift recovery, my friend. COVID is fucking horrible. Yeah, a lot of people think it's fake, and there's a debate about that coming up as well. Draco Fire for $5 says, "Rip Bullinator and rip Rufus. I'm not going to make jokes or insult Flerfs here. I just want those two to rest well." Yeah, me too. Bullinator is one of the nicest people I'd ever spoken to. Honestly, one of the most legitimately amazing, friendly, just, you know, decent people I'd ever met in my life. And he will be sadly missed. Mark Zajac for 10 PlayStation Network dollars says, "Use Google Translate for Polish to my name. You can listen there." I will do that, and I promise I'll say it properly next time. And then we've got Robert Williams for $4.99 says...
What is that? What is that? What kind of dollar is that?
I think it's Polish something, but I call it PlayStation Network dollars. And then Robert Williams for $4.99 says, "Do you think any Flerf could even identify the names of two axes that the equatorial coordinate system use?" I'm going to say no. And then the last one from Aslam, $2 Australian, says, "Do they consider melee attacks against zombies?" One guy did start pushing back, like, before he was, I'm going to have to shoot you, I'm going to have to shoot you. And then got, like, the gun shooting them. Fucking cruel. If that was real, that was a really horrible thing to do to people. But if you want to see it, then please go and check out Darren Brown zombie video game. I think that's the best way to search for it. But that's where we're going to end it tonight. I want to say, again, thank you to everyone for coming and watching my first stream of the new year. Thank you to everyone who's super chatted and become members. And I know not everyone can help me financially. If you do want to help the FTFE channel, the best way that you can do that without sending me money is to share my stuff on Facebook and Twitter. Honestly, social media is such a massive part of having a successful YouTube channel. So please, once you're done watching, just share this stream on Facebook and Twitter and probably Bebo and, you know, MySpace if you like. My friend Tom on MySpace would probably like to see it. Thank you, Brainy, for coming on. I really do appreciate you.
My friend Tom, you talking about like the only guy left using it? Is that what you're fucking joking about?
No, Tom's the guy who made MySpace, wasn't he? Every time you made a MySpace account, you instantly got a friend from Tom.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Please check out Brainy Beaver. Look forward to the upcoming content from me and Red's Rhetoric on this channel. There's going to be regular, like at least 2 scripted videos a week and at least 2 streams, maybe more a week, every single week going forward from here. And also, look out for the new channel that me and my wife are creating called How to Be Plastic Free, where we will be, one of our resolutions for the year is to reduce our plastic use by 80% throughout the year. And we're going to be documenting our what we're doing with that, the ways that we're doing it, the reusable products that we're creating ourselves, the people that we're going to speak to about being plastic free. There's check out the new channel, How to Be Plastic Free. That's going to be coming up in the next few days. But we're going to get out of here tonight. Brainy, again, thank you. One more time, good night, Rufus. Sleep well, my amazing, amazing friend. You'll be sorely missed. But remember, guys, stupidity isn't a right. You know, it's really not a fucking right. Just stop being fucking stupid, you fucking idiots. The Earth's not fucking flat. Fight the flat fucking Earth. Fight the flat. 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 Fight the flat.